Welcome, everyone, to TJ and the Grumpy Old Man, a twice-a-week sports podcast that takes place every single Thursday at 9 o'clock Eastern Standard Time and every single Sunday at 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. If you're new to the channel, we welcome you. I'm your host, TJ, and with me here, as always, is the Grumpy Old Man. They say there's no shame to his game because he's always the same.
That's me.
And with us here, we've got the comment king, the magnificent Son X.
That's right. It's X time. Hold on one second. I'll be right back.
He's already taken time off. Look at him, Grumpy. And sometimes he shows up. He shows up late. He just a grumpy old man. It's X. What do you expect sometimes? But hey, welcome to the show. If you're new to the channel, this is a twice-a-week all-sports podcast where we talk anything and everything sports. We talk NHL, we talk NFL, we talk NBA, we talk MLB, we talk college athletics, we talk European football, we talk anything and everything.
Women's sports. We talk women's sports, everything. We
try to avoid that because the grumpy old man is he's not too nice to anything but certain sports. Grumpy old man is you got to watch out for Grumpy sometimes, but we talk literally anything and everything sports on the show. And if you like the podcast, you like the fun topics we cover, you like the camaraderie Grumpy, myself, and Son X have, you like the fun times we have, you like engaging with us, it's make sure to do a few things. If you're new to the channel, make sure to subscribe on YouTube and to like the video, right? If you like the video, that lets us know you like the content we're putting out. And also, right, it helps the algorithm. So make sure to subscribe and to like the video. For today's episode, we've got on today's podcast, man, oh man, we got a lot of NFL playoffs to cover. Big week. I tell you, I'm excited about this NFL playoff weekend. I certainly am. So we're going to cover that, our predictions for who we're going to see in the Super Bowl in that matchup. We're going to cover some of the moving and shaking. New coaches flying left and right, new offensive coordinators, defensive coordinators, head coaches going left and right all over the place in the NFL. We've got a few NHL stories to cover, and we have an NBA story to cover, Grumpy, from the Brooklyn Nets. You're going to be really happy about it. So we're going to cover some NBA as well, Grumpy, man.
Okay.
Yes.
Got to wait till Lex comes back for that.
We'll wait for X. We'll wait for X on that, Grumpy, for certain.
Definitely have to wait for your little Mr. X to come back for that.
Well, let's do this here first. Let's get to some comments here at the beginning, and then we're gonna go ahead and start jumping to topics. I don't know where X went, but I do want to get his opinion on what we think is going to happen in this weekend's NFL playoffs. We're going to talk about that. But that's here
first. That's right off the top. Okay.
Hell yeah, Grumpy! It's the biggest thing, of course.
Brucey and the boys. I don't know who.
It's Bruce Pearl, and I assume it's a college basketball player. I don't know who that is from a distance, but that is, I'm sure, an Auburn Tiger men's basketball player. But it's Bruce Pearl. Bruce Pearl he's looking in pretty decent shape for being his age, Grumpy.
Wearing an Auburn shirt today.
Oh, let me remove that. Look at that. He's got his Auburn shirt on. There it is. Okay, Brucey and the boys, Grumpy.
Okay. That looks like an inappropriate relationship just waiting to happen.
What do you mean? He's just out there drinking at the pool.
I don't know. It just looks not good to me.
All right, Grumpy, what we got here? He says, got a lot to cover tonight, boys. I feel good. Friday tomorrow. Well, Grumpy, let's go ahead here. Next comment.
Okay, a hello comment once again. Why are we checking hello comments?
Because they want to say hello.
Ay.
Anthony Rizzi says, LOL the Islanders. I hope Pellick's okay, but that was such a cheap shot. Grumpy, the game's already over. The Islanders lost, so we could get your full attention. But I thought it was a cheap shot too. I thought it was a cheap shot against Pellick. I thought it was a dumb hit on Gallagher. Gallagher inflicted on Pellick. I definitely think he bowed the elbow out too, hit him up high. I don't know if it was necessary. He was trying to hurt Pellick, but it was definitely a dangerous and reckless hit and check.
It was dumb. Now, the Islanders did not deserve to win. Absolutely did not deserve to win tonight. And the only thing that got them in the game was Montreal doing dumb shit.
Yes.
Honestly. I mean, they had a 3-0 lead. The Islanders have a power play. And I forget the guy's name, number 71. Dobson's got the puck.
Evans.
You're 3-0 up. Why would you go in the offensive zone, no less, You go grab it. It's so dumb, which gives the Islanders a 2-man advantage and then a goal. And then Gallagher with that was obviously a major penalty. I mean, he come at him. First of all, he didn't even need to hit him. Okay. It was open ice and he absolutely threw the elbow. I expect a suspension for Gallagher. But again, he's a veteran. You're an assistant captain. It's just dumb. That's just stupid. And it almost cost them. But, when you have the backup in goal, that's what happens when you play backups. They tend to give up a lot of goals like that. Backup.
Hey, he only faced 28 shots and gave up 4 goals. He's so mid. He's so average. We need better than average goaltending if we want to be good in the league.
I'm just saying, when you put in a backup, these are the type of things that happen. They let in goals like that in the last couple minutes. And the backup did.
Yep. I'll tell you this.
Right.
I'm shocked we came out and played as poorly as we did to start the first bit. Kept 3 goals within the first 10 minutes of action. And guess what? Hey, guys, remember, only Lane Lambert's team could blow leads in the last 2 minutes of games. Oh, not Patrick Waugh. Whoa.
Again, it's not the coach.
No.
It's the players and the general manager who refuses to get rid of some of these guys. He believes in this team. Well, you believe in losing. That's all it means. You believe in the team being a failure, and that's what it is. Islanders are losers. Right now, they're losers. You lost to Montreal, so let's see. You beat Dallas, okay, in a game you didn't deserve to win. Lost to Vegas on 3 out of 4. Lose to Montreal, and you're going to get shit canned. Well, I won't say that because Florida is going to be in the second half of a back-to-back. They play Jersey tomorrow, and then they play the Islanders on Saturday. But here's the thing. Florida's going to beat the living shit out of the Islanders too. So we're going to go into the All-Star break on a 3-game losing streak. This team's not making playoffs. Just not making playoffs. Sorry. I don't even want to go on a rant. I know it's not the Islander show. So let's talk about the other things.
Yeah. That's right, Grumpy. But Grumpy sometimes can't prevent himself. Anthony Rizzi says here, I missed last night's Islanders show. What I'll say is nothing. I mean, nothing will change until the owners get their head out of their ass and realize that Lou's a piece of shit. He's a freaking problem. Absolutely. Brucey and the boys says here, Dave Portnoy offered to fund the rest of Roll Tide Willie's housing project in cash, but Willie don't take handouts. Instead, he sold shirts with Willie saying, don't give a piss about nothing but the Tide.
What the hell?
What the fuck is the Roll? I'm familiar somewhat with Roll Tide Willie. He's like a very southern or very backwoods individual who's like Roll Tide, and he loves the Tide. He's from the South, the deep South, grumpy old man. But I didn't know what the hell was going on with this. This is news to me, Brucey and the boys here. Anthony Rizzi says here, I'm so sick of this team. We'll never win another cup. Book it. What's up? What, Grumpy? Frank says, hey, what's up, Frank? Anthony Rizzi says,
have you not been given explicit orders not to hit the ones that just say hi?
Honestly, Grump, all the comments are so good. I'm actually today just starring every single one of them.
Everybody in the chat just start leaving hellos. We need to get more hellos to make Grumpy upset. I need to start seeing hi at the beginning of every comment.
Chat spam hi. Chat spam hi.
Anthony Rizzi says here, I must hate my freaking life. I root for all the freaking loser teams, the Islanders, Mets, the Jets, and I complain about management, about the teams being morons. I take it back. I'm the moron and the loser. Yeah, I tell you. Anthony Barillo! Grumpy says, hi, what's up? There it is. Was that Michael? Did I say Anthony? If I did, I said,
You said Anthony.
Shambolic. Woohoo! That's another word. That's the word of the podcast, Grump. There it is. He remembers. There it is, Michael. Brucey and the boy says, Cristiano Ronaldo sinking to yet again a new low. He sponsored social media pages to slander and degrade Messi and Messi's success of winning trophies. Ron is obsessed and jealous of the GOAT. No, I just think more people are awake than the blind loser MLS fans, the MLS boys.
So are you telling me that you think Cristiano Ronaldo in his free time is taking time to look at Instagram posts to sponsor these things to backlash Messi? That's what you're telling me. In this loaded amount of free time that he has, when he's not flying around doing advertisements or working out or training, he's on social media to solely find Lionel Messi hate pages on Instagram and sponsor them.
You
Is
know
that what I'm
something?
hearing?
Well, here's the thing. Cristiano Ronaldo, here's the thing. He does have a lot of endorsements. I mean, he's super popular. Unless you're selling products for booster seats, Messi is not getting any of those endorsements. Let's be honest, right?
Messi. Yeah, Messi, I tell you.
With his little booster seats. Get the Messi booster seat, and you see him sitting in there in the back seat. Hey, look, it's me, Messi. Woohoo.
Hey, they've played a few preseason games, and that's usually where Messi makes up all. Oh, fuck.
Also, there was something else that I saw. There was a post where Lionel Messi, quote unquote, Lionel Messi did the same thing on a slander page for Cristiano Ronaldo. It's not even them. It's not even them. They don't even control their own social media accounts.
That's right. That's somebody else handles it. You got 7. How many followers does Messi have? Like 12 or something?
Less than Ronaldo. Ronaldo has I think Ronaldo has 600. I want to say, or maybe, I don't even know how many.
He has the most in the world.
I was going to say 600 million followers, something like that.
He's got the most in the world. Do you think let me read all these posts? He's not doing that. Come on.
Let alone finding pages that slander Messi. He's like, yeah, I'm going to go ahead and pay for these pages. Yeah, no, dream another dream. It's absolute BS.
That's my first time hearing it, and I don't care at all. I don't.
618 million followers.
That's it. That's what he's doing here. We got here Joseph C saying, weird how the Falcons passed on Bill Belichick. I wonder now where the next job might come for him. Has to be Dallas, right?
Well,
I don't know.
This year.
Grumpy was telling me he thinks he'll be done. He'll never coach again.
If he does not coach this year, I think he's done. Absolutely think he's done.
I do agree with that. If he's not hired midway through the season, I do agree he'll probably never coach again. He needs to, if he wants to coach another year, he's going to have to be hired midway through the season as a pickup. I'm not sure anybody's going to pick him up as a new coach for
maybe he's waiting to see if Sean McDermott gets fired. That's the only thing I can think, because he has to go to a team that is close to winning, right? Let's be honest.
Yes.
It has to be close, because how many years realistically does he have left to coach? 2 or 3?
I think he might go to the Bills. If they fire McDermott, I think he's going to go to the Bills.
Thanks, Pep. Thanks, Pepper Brooks. We got a new Pepper Brooks tonight. Last night it was TJ. Today it's X.
Oh, did you say that already?
I just said it.
Are you talking about this X?
I was reading comments. I was not listening to a word you were talking. Sorry about that.
That's, to me, what other jobs are even open anymore? The Panthers think about it. Carolina Panthers fans, pack it in. The owner's an asshole. He's a loser. They hired Dave Canellis, who was his first year in his entire career as an offensive coordinator. And, the team that he was with must have been putting up boatloads of points, right? They interviewed the guy, Ben Johnson from Detroit. They scored a lot of points. And who did they take? They took the offensive coordinator for the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. He's only been an OC for 1 year, and he's a head coach. I'm sorry. They're going nowhere. Nowhere. Absolutely nowhere. That's a terrible coaching hire. Just absolutely terrible.
Mike Vrabel is available too.
Yeah. Well, maybe the owner doesn't want to win. Maybe he wants to use everything as a tax write-off.
I am shocked. You do look at that, and we'll pop that up here. Are you talking about? It's just the amount of coaches that have been hired, fired, and picked up makes no sense to me. I guess we can use that as a segue to talk about. You were mentioning Canales, offensive coordinator, now the head coach of the Carolina Panthers. Tell me that doesn't have flop and failure written all over it.
Absolutely.
No, what do you mean? Look at what good he's done with quarterbacks, dude. He's going to be great with Bryce Young. Come on, dude.
Okay. He's been an OC for 1 year. I think he was a special teams coordinator before that.
It's going to be terrible.
Absolutely. And then you
How
have
does this thing go on the water boy? Oh no, we suck again.
Oh no, we suck
Another
again.
Season of suck. Get ready for it. Can't wait for those. Can't wait for the 25-cent tickets to come out.
Well, you know what? There is an advantage to that. You can go see good teams play, not the Panthers, but their opponent, and you can get them on the cheap. Nothing wrong with that.
I'll put this up here so we're able to take a look. here is his coaching career. Oh gosh, let's take a look. He's coached for a while. Hey, he was a head coach.
Strength coach, assistant strength coach. You know what that means? Nothing. Just get that one doesn't even count.
Offensive coordinator in high school back in 2004. Okay. And then El Camino College special
Oh my
teams
God.
coach and tight ends coach. Okay.
El Camino College. That's a 2-year school.
Assistant strength coach back for USC back in 2009. From
He got
2010 to 2017, the wide receivers coach here for the Seahawks. Then from 2018-19, he moved to quarterbacks coach. And then 2020 to 2021, passing game coordinator.
And
then
guess
he went
what?
back to the quarterbacks coach in 2022.
Because their passing offense sucked. So we went back to being quarterback.
2022, they were good. Geno Smith had that breakout year. And I guess he parlayed a breakout year by Geno Smith into I'm now the offensive coordinator for the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. And I'll say this, I think Baker Mayfield played well this year, well above my expectations. That being said, they play in the worst division in all of football. I think
That's
that
true.
has to be taken with a grain of salt. Like Baker played well, but they played the Panthers twice. They played the Saints twice. They played the Falcons twice.
Well, you know what I think the Carolina Panthers figured? Since we are the worst division in the NFL, we might as well have the worst coach in the NFL on our team as well.
Good logic, Ed.
I don't get the hiring at all. I really
neither.
don't.
I
And
know-
to speak about the Panthers, they hired a first-time NFL general manager, a guy who has. Now, let me ask you this: what has Dan Morgan been doing since he retired from football? Has he been doing
Eating out of a
anything in the
straw.
operations? Oh God!
Getting concussions. He's been with the Panthers front office for quite a while. But I mean, I know he had injury issues and concussion issues as well for them.
I would
mean,
rather have Luke Kuechly as the general manager or the head coach than the two buffoons they just picked up.
I just didn't understand why they wouldn't go after somebody like Mike Vrabel. Or maybe Vrabel didn't want to go there. I don't know.
Vrabel interviewed. I heard he interviewed today.
Oof. So, as an executive, he was a scout for the Seahawks from 2010. Look at all the Seahawks. Look at the Seahawks connection. I wonder if that's why maybe we've got here because Dan Morgan, the GM, picks the head coach, right? It's not the owner that does that.
No, it's the owner. It's the owner.
You think Tepper's doing that?
Tepper.
I was supposed to say, you think Tepper's doing that and he's not giving the
Yes.
GM control?
Absolutely.
Well, he was with the Seahawks for a while, and I assume that's where he knew Canales from, and he had a connection with Canales. He was the director of player personnel for the Bills, and then he went back to the Panthers here from 2021 to 2023 as the assistant general manager. So that's usually good. Under a failed GM, you bring the assistant in to go ahead and take over the reins. Nothing like looking outside the organization for a new hire.
That's my issue. You have a guy who's been with the Panthers. It's not like, wow, the Panthers been picking great players. We've been making great selections. We've been signing great free agents. No, that's been the exact opposite. So what do? You reward failure. I like Dan Morgan. I do. Nice guy. That being said, I was shocked. I was surprised by that. I won't say shocked. I'll say surprised. I'm like, wow, Dan Morgan. And I'm like, is that the Dan Morgan? Because I didn't know. I just saw the name. I said, let me check. I'm like, gosh, it is the Dan Morgan. Okay, good for him. You know what? He was at Buffalo for a few years, director of player personnel. So maybe he knows pro players. I don't know. But I'm just underwhelmed with their selections. I don't expect them to be good next year.
I just think it's odd that your team was miserable. You missed on the last head coaching hire that you had. The GM didn't pan out here for obvious reasons, which is why he was canned. And how you address this is you hire the assistant general manager who was, I assume, right? Dan Morgan. How much of a disagreement do you think the assistant GM and the GM had on player personnel decisions and ideology? I'm just saying they're usually pretty closely aligned.
Or what about hiring Frank Reich last year as coach? And remember, on this show, I said Frank Reich, he's just not the answer. He's not a good head coach.
We talked about that. He's not a good head coach.
And, you know, the people down here, all you saw, oh, this is the greatest coaching staff put together. I said, I don't think anyone down here has actually seen a pro coaching staff, if that's what you're saying. Because I said it was totally underwhelming to me. We've talked about it on the show. And again, you know that Dan Morgan had some input. Was he coming out and saying, hey, yes, I'm all behind this, or was he a dissenting voice? I'm going to bet he was not a dissenting voice.
right? Oh man, I'm telling you, that
They're
is
bad.
just
They're bad.
it's a bad decision, a bad look. Here's the thing. I think the Panthers are a laughing stock in the NFL.
Yes.
And they're a laughing stock to other fan bases. Like, the Panthers. And they do some shit like this, it just further feeds into it.
Let me just let you know, Charlotte sports as a whole are a laughing stock.
Well, yeah, the Hornets, sure.
The Hornets suck.
Yeah,
That's
they don't want to. Hornets never want to spend any money. They're cheap.
We lost to who was it? The 76ers?
I don't care.
76ers are a good team. I mean, that doesn't matter. 76ers are a good team.
No, hold on. Who was it?
I don't care I don't care they lost the regular season game. I care less.
No, I'm saying we lost to the team that was on the 32 game losing streak.
The Pistons.
The Pistons, that's it. We lost to the Pistons.
Okay. You can lose a game. The fact that they every year perennially will not spend money to re-sign guys or to go out in free agency. If you want to get good, you got to spend money. You got to get good players. It's just plain and simple. Players win games.
But you think Bill Belichick he's going nowhere. I was curious if you thought maybe he might go coach at Navy.
He's not going to the college game.
Maybe he does. Maybe he does.
Going to the college. No. Here's the thing. Arthur Blank wanted him. I don't know if he made too many demands. I think Rich McKay kind of put the squash up there. There's a lot of layers of upper management in Atlanta.
I wonder too, and you mentioned as well, if they fire Sean McDermott, I'm shocked they haven't done that already. But if they fire Sean McDermott, that maybe is a fit. But I honestly am shocked McDermott still has a job with the Bills.
Stunned.
But I'm shocked Tyler Bass still has a job.
Okay.
I don't care about him. He's a kicker. There's a long way to go to training camp. Sean McDermott is not the answer. He's just not the answer. They've never gotten past the divisional round. Think about that.
They just lose all the time. He's just a shitty coach.
They've been eliminated twice in a wild card and 5 times in divisional round. That's, I'm sorry, it's not good enough. He shit the bed last week against Kansas City. It is what it is. It is what it is. I'm stunned. I would have absolutely fired him. Now Belichick's other people have to start looking for jobs. Look at Atlanta, what happened, right? You're seeing they wound up signing Raheem Morris. Can we pull up his resume? He's been kicking around for a while. He's been a head coach before down in Tampa. But I don't really think he's that great a coach. I think this year he was the DC for the Rams. But does Raheem Morris does it blow your skirt up? I don't think so. I think what happened was they had so many layers, and those guys did not want Belichick there talking to the owner. They want to keep their jobs. So like, well, let's go in a different direction. Because Morris isn't going to say anything that is going to get. He's not going to push the envelope or come up against somebody. He's just going to coach the team, and I think that's good for those guys.
He obviously has a lot. He doesn't stick anywhere. Oh, I guess in the Buccaneers, he had a lot of different jobs. Cornell, Buccaneers for a few years from 2022. Always different roles. Defensive quality control, defensive assistant defensive back coach. Then he went to Kent State. Then we went back to the Buccaneers for a few years. I forgot he was the head coach of the Buccaneers back when they were not
horrible. They were horrible then too.
Yeah, they were bad. And then he was for the Redskins, a defensive back coach, then the Atlanta Falcons, assistant head coach and passing game coordinator, wide receiver coach.
So he was demoted. Oh, no, I guess not. So all right, whatever. It doesn't matter. Okay.
Defensive coordinator, and then he went to the Rams as defensive coordinator, and now he's the head coach of the Falcons.
I don't think much of him as a coach. Never have.
No, neither have I. I
just don't get some of these hires. I just don't.
Mike Vrabel is still a fucking available coach right now, and unless it's Vrabel saying I'm not interested in team A, B, and C, I'm shocked Mike Vrabel has not picked up a job.
That's what I was gonna say. Is like I'm astounded nobody has gone after him yet.
What teams still have openings? Washington has an opening. They did not sign Jed Fish. Washington has an opening.
I think you're going to see the Bills are going to have an opening. I think they're going to get rid of McDermott.
Supposedly, I think Schefter said this week there are 2 teams interest in Belichick, one team that has an opening still and another team that does not.
I assume that's where the speculation is whirling about the Bills,
The Bills.
perhaps.
I mean, if you're Pagula, is that the owner of the Bills? Thomas Pagula?
I don't know.
Let's
Whatever.
just say yes.
I'll go with that. If you're seeing Bill Belichick out there, do you not, and like I said, I don't think Bill Belichick should be in charge of player personnel anymore. Absolutely not. But he's a better coach than Sean McDermott. He's going to get the most out of the team, particularly defensively, by the way. And he'd bring Josh McDaniels in, I'm certain he would, to coach up Josh Allen. Because, I mean, I'm just not a fan of Buffalo's coaching staff. I think they hurt them every year.
I think you talk about a culture issue. I think they absolutely have a culture issue. They cannot get it out of their heads that they're just a bunch of losers. And that's the way they played. And I think it plagues that franchise. It's plagued that organization. 4 years in a row without a Super Bowl, or 4 years in a row in the Super Bowl without winning a Super Bowl. And then you look at how many years in a row they're supposed to be a real contender and a competitor, and they just flame out every single year, and they blow games and blow leads. You got to have a guy who, I think Belichick absolutely could do that. If they buy in under Belichick, I think he is a really good fit there. As long as he doesn't have the ability to control player personnel decisions, because he can't do that.
And he has a quarterback.
Yep.
He has a quarterback.
Anthony Rizzi says, I love it. Bill Belichick won't get the wins record. He's being blackballed. I'm not sure about that, but I think that's right. If he goes and he is now going to be the coach of the Bills, he's going to get that wins record.
I just don't think he can sit out a year at 71 years old and expect to get back in the game next year.
I agree with that.
You know, and I mean, I could see him leaving this year and taking assistant coaches. But if you don't get a job this year, your assistant coaches are going to get jobs somewhere else.
Correct.
And then it's like, how are you going to bring the band back? And I'm not bring the band back together. How are you going to bring the majority of those that coaching staff back together if they have other jobs? I mean, you know, they have to look out for their families too.
I like the let's bring back the band, baby. Yeah, Islanders, says Frank here. Bruce Senior Boy says here, what Camel League do once?
What will Camel League do once Ron retires?
I'm sorry. Bad enough that Al Nazir canceled the whole tour in China just due to Ron being injured. Will y'all still push the false narrative of the league being relevant when he's gone?
Didn't they all show up in China?
I believe that, yeah, they did. I believe that you have some type of, they had a ranking system. Can you inform us on that?
Oh, yeah. They ranked, the
league
MLS was ranked 66th.
Well, did you send a list to TJ? And maybe we can just kind of scroll down the list. I think it'll be fun to see where all these leagues are.
IFFHS is what it's called.
Send me the link in the private chat and I'll pull it up. Okay. Fuck. Anthony Rizzi says here, justice. The Islanders had no business getting the Islanders had no business getting any points from this game. Good. Lose every game, please. Oh, no.
Are we going to be talking to Phil tonight?
You know, your boy David Tuckman, he said, I just bet an irrational amount of money on the Islanders to beat Montreal tonight. He posted that like 6 hours ago. And I made a little tweet like I'm looking at him, like I'm staring at his ass because I'm like,
I'm going to tell you, me and him are going to go at it. The one thing I like about Phil, he's very respectful. That other guy, I'm going to bury him alive. Telling you right now.
Bury him alive, Grumpy says. And he says, fucking Engvall. Freedom Fun Adventure, Grumpy.
TJ, how freaking long does it take you to do your hair? Islanders tied 3-3. Gotta love Waz intensity, but this team is so soft. Dumping Johnston, a massive Lou mistake. Okay, but they never played him anyway. I mean, we liked Ross Johnston, but it's not like he ever played for the Islanders. We are soft. That's Pierre Engvall, soft, won't go in corners. Holmstrom, soft, won't go in corners. You want to know where toughest the guys who go in corners are? The old guys. None of the guys who were signed to 7-year contracts. Yeah, frustrating. Brucey and the boys say, did y'all see where Purdy made one of the game's biggest plays against Green Bay? He played a shit game, Brucey, Alex. He played a shit game. Let's just be honest. Played a shit game against Green Bay. Matter of fact, when they pulled up, they're selling those pants even with the brown stains on them on eBay right now because he shit himself. He was terrible.
And on 2 passes for sure he did that. He threw right to Green Bay and they couldn't catch the ball.
A lot of people are saying Detroit this week.
Yep.
Now here's the thing. I would love Detroit. I'm rooting for Detroit to win the whole thing. Absolutely. Oh, this should be fun. But okay, I just want to finish up that comment. Where was the comment?
There you go, Grump.
Okay.
Efficiency, Grumpy. Efficiency.
Oh my God. He might have been kind of Green Bay when he refused to ship number 89 so that McCaffrey could break the big run for the touchdown. Good breakdown on NFL's IG and McAfee show. Okay. He's the worst of the 4 quarterbacks left in the playoffs. Absolutely, without a doubt.
You think he's worse than Goff?
Absolutely,
yes.
He's worse than Goff. Absolutely, he's worse than Goff. Absolutely.
Okay.
You might even see that on Sunday night.
Wow. So you think they can end in a loss, huh?
Grumpy, read that one.
Alex says, I'm just going to say Alex from now on. So no answer. I mean, let's give Alex some credit. He comes up with these cute little things. He finds.
I do like them. I like all the names that he comes up with. Every week, different one.
Yeah, I like it too. I just want to know where he's going to find these beefcake pictures that he posts. That's what I want to know. What kind of sites he's going on.
He's creative. He's creative.
Oh, okay.
There.
So Alex says, so no wonder to what will the Camel League. So no answer to that. Do once Ronnie retires. Getting awful quiet. Cat got the tongues on that question. Not too common in the future of Sandtown seems. No, let's take a look right here. But I will say one thing to you, Alex. At least you're willing to acknowledge that Cristiano Ronaldo is the greatest player of all time, where just him leaving would sink an entire league. I mean, at least you've moved up in the world. I like that. Okay. Here we go.
So, okay,
This is not it.
Calm down. Please come. Yes, it is. This is what
This is it.
This is not it.
It is it.
Okay.
Grumpy, calm down, please. Take a breath, my friend. I wanted to mention something on the comment. We'll talk about it. I'll address this. How could you say once Ronnie leaves that you're going to see the league continue to diminish? They're adding players still right now. They're adding players in a winter transfer window. Guess what? The targets this summer that they are looking to spend $2 billion with a B, $2 billion on infrastructure increases over the Saudi League, as well as bringing in Hunman's son, Mohamed Salah, and Kevin De Bruyne. Kevin De Bruyne is starting right now for Manchester City, one of the best teams in the world. Hunman's son, one of the best strikers in the world. And Mohamed Salah, you should be familiar with him, Al. He's on your little beloved Liverpool squad.
Oh,
looky there, bringing up a whole bunch of washed players that are playing at the top level and the best players in all of football.
Also, I don't know if Brucey and the boys is familiar with this, but Ronaldo is actually going to be an ambassador of the league once he's done playing. So it's not like he's leaving the league.
So here's the rankings we've got here. And now you'll notice something. Oh, look at this. France is no longer in the top 5. And it hasn't. It was 6th last year. It's 6th again this year. The French league is not a top-tier league. You start scrolling down. Scotland. I like Scottish league.
We're going a little fast. We might miss some of these other leagues that we're talking about.
The Israeli league, the Croatian league. Not. Uh-oh. Wow, the Saudi league. Looky there. The Saudi league jumped from 40th last year now to 33rd.
Did we miss MLS? Where's MLS? Do we
No, we haven't gotten to them yet.
You sure?
Japan, Albania, Algeria. That's pretty good. Latvia. They've got really good teams. Republic of Ireland. Pretty good. Bosnia. That's another one.
Georgia.
North Macedonia. You got Darko from there. Okay. Yeah. Oh.
Whoa.
Oh no. The United States of
MLS
America.
63rd.
Are you sure that
This can't be right? This has got to be a typo.
I mean, are you sure that it's the full league?
What?
This looks just like individual teams.
It's not. It's the full league.
Okay.
Read the top.
Here it is.
Men's strongest national leagues in the world.
Okay.
Top 100.
And I guess it makes sense for the Italian league. Think about how many teams went very far and deep in Champions League last year
and in Europa League.
Yeah.
Um,
Napoli played well. You look at
Inter-
it, AC Milan played well. Inter Milan went to the finals last year.
I think
There
in
was a
Roma
lot
in
of
the
teams that
finals
played
of
really well.
Europa League.
And Roma went to the finals in Europa League. Yeah, sure. Yeah, last year that definitely makes sense with how well the teams did.
okay.
Mm.
Where was the Burger League last year? Did they move up at all?
No, they moved down.
They moved
Wow,
down.
look at there. Burger League was 43rd last year.
Oh, you want to know why they dropped
still
down? Because they got Booster Seat is now their big star there. So they
Yeah, they
dropped.
got an anchor that's dropping the league
Oh,
down.
wow.
This the United States League is
Okay.
an absolute joke.
All you need to do, and I here's the thing. I've seen some of those. I'm a La Liga fan, flat out, and I can watch some English and I can watch some Italy. I mean, if it's a German league, they have to be a couple of top teams. I've seen a few of the Saudi
MLS.
league games. They've been okay. I can't even watch an MLS game. Honestly, it's like no, it's like watching women's soccer. Same thing. Horrible. Terrible.
I don't
can't
watch it unless it's
Seriously,
all.
I can't watch it. But I don't. Here's the thing: I don't think the Saudi league's any great shakes either. I think they're going to get better because they have the money just to buy up players, and that's what they're going to
They're
do.
buying players and they're building better infrastructure, better facilities, better. I'm telling you, the Saudi league will take over. Just like I said, Saudis will take over. You just had the money.
Okay, I'm not disagreeing with you. I'm just saying right now that league is borderline unwatchable as well. But the MLS is absolutely the worst. I cannot watch MLS. I can't. I've tried. I'm like, oh, this is just horrible. Is that Alex Morgan out there?
Oh gosh,
Is that
Brucey
Megan
and the boys.
Rapinoe out there?
Brucey and the boys says here, Swift has a concert the night before the Super Bowl in Tokyo. A long flight to Vegas from there.
Is she performing?
Yeah, she's doing a song the night before, I guess. Someplace else.
Is she performing in Vegas?
No.
No,
Well, then why would she be
going?
going?
Well, because maybe she's got tickets to watch the Super Bowl with her boyfriend in the stands.
Oh, Joseph C.
The players all get like a couple of tickets throughout the league. They absolutely do.
Okay, let's get some comments here because we got a lot starred by X, 66 starred already by X.
I please hope
baby.
We haven't even talked about the NFL playoffs just quite yet. So let's start trying to stay a little bit better on track, Grumpy. I'm not going to let you run away and start going crazy mode. Yeah, you Grumpy.
X was going in on the comment section.
Joseph C. says
Harbaugh,
if Harbaugh can't get the Chargers right, no one will, by the way. One thing about Jim Harbaugh, look at everywhere he's been, the offense is still the same. It's still the same. You're going to see a power running game. You're going to. I just wonder how that's going to work with Justin Herbert. One thing that he's done, he finds what quarterbacks do well. They accentuate that, and then he builds around that. Absolutely does. I wish him luck.
He was successful, I think, with the 49ers for a number of years in the NFL. And then eventually people just started to tune him out. But that's all coaches. Now, here's the thing. He
left right after the Super Bowl. Did he not leave right after the Super Bowl?
No, I think it was before or the year after. I'm sorry. The year after the Super Bowl.
Okay.
Here's the thing. Justin Herbert's the best quarterback he's probably ever coached in the NFL as a head coach. So, I mean, that makes the world of a difference. You got a legitimate head coach. You absolutely can win more games. I think that is a very good hire by the Chargers. I was shocked. Fucking Brandon Staley. We were talking about it 2 years ago, last year, since the moment that freaking clown was hired, that he needed to be canned. And it took them a little long, in my opinion, to do it, but I think they hired the right guy.
It was when they lost to the Jaguars in that wild card game. We all thought he needed to go. When you're up 24 points, you got to go.
No, he had to go.
They were losing games. They were losing games.
That was the last straw for me.
Not for me.
They were losing games really quickly because they were going for it on like fourth down at the opposing team's 40-yard line and giving another team a chance to go ahead and kick a game-winning field goal. They're just blowing games because of shitty decisions by the coach.
Or the last game of the regular season against the Raiders, where if they win, they're in the playoffs, going for it on 4th and 3 from their own 29 in the third quarter.
Yeah, that too.
You do dumb shit like that. We're just like totally out on this guy. He's terrible.
Freedom Venture says here, Grumpy, it doesn't look like Belichick will receive a head coaching position. Does he sit out a year? If he's not hired next year, is it the end of his coaching career? Yes.
I think if he doesn't get coached this year, he's done.
Drew L says, I'm not going to lie. I hope the Ravens beat the Lions and then lose to Brock Purdy in the Super Bowl just so we can see we hoop and cry a river. Laughing my ass off. Ah,
Maybe he means beat the Chiefs and then lose to the Lions in the Super Bowl.
No, he's saying lose to the 49ers.
No, he wants the 49ers to win the Super Bowl. He wants the Ravens to make it there. People don't want Travis Kelce and Taylor Swift and now the buffoon Jason Kelce. My God. I don't know if we talked about that. What a dumb fucking look for him just drinking, just shirtless. And I'm like, my God, dude. It just, he looks so fucking dumb. I'm like, put a fucking shirt on, man.
He's a 37-year-old man.
I was about to say, grow the fuck up, man. I get it. You're happy. But I'm like, you've never done this before. Here's the thing. You've supported your brother at time periods when the Chiefs were in the postseason and you weren't. You've been at games. You've never made a public spectacle of yourself, just showing your shirt off, pretending to be absolutely wild and buck crazy. There's a reason for that. There's just a reason for it. You know, you got all the eyes on you because you got Taylor Swift in the box with you. And like, how can I draw attention to myself too? I'm like, yikes, man. Grow up. You're a 37-year-old man. Come on.
Yeah.
Ugh. I didn't like the look. Freedom, fun, and adventure, Grumpy.
X was here long enough to say he showed up to work, then bolted. X, last night it was revealed that cheap bastard TJ has never treated your parents to a meal. Have you ever treated your parents?
Yeah, I used to bring you home food all the time from the movie theater.
He'd bring home a bucket of popcorn. And he did do that a couple times. He did.
Brucey and the boys says here,
I wouldn't consider a bucket of popcorn a meal, though.
Oh gosh. Brucey and the boys says here, a picture of Bruce is from overseas to Israel from Auburn basketball trip a couple years ago. He got himself a beer belly now, unfortunately. Well, there it is, Brucey. Fucking crap, the Islanders. Man, this Islanders were banging on the door with a sledgehammer, says Frank. I just don't believe that. We haven't scored a 5-on-5 goal in 2 games.
Montreal tried to play.
Games, I'm sorry.
Montreal tried to beat Brock Purdy, shitting themselves in that third period, and actually the end of the second period as well. Just tell them. I mean, Montreal totally dominated the Islanders until that second penalty, and then the Islanders scored. And then the Islanders, I thought, carried the action pretty much the rest of the way. But you give them a little bit of life by doing something dumb. And guess what? Poorly coached teams do dumb things.
Yep. I mean, taking a penalty in the offensive zone when you're on the penalty kill because you're trying to hold, and all you're trying to do is just eat fucking clock. And he commits a holding penalty against Noah Dobson.
In the offensive zone.
Yes, in the offensive zone. Made no sense. And then Gallagher. Now, I wonder how long Pelech will be out for. The good thing is the All-Star break is around the corner, so hopefully he'll have some time to recover, but probably concussed. Like, you remember last year he was concussed, couldn't even skate off the ice, and he missed like a month and a half, remember, due to that concussion. This one doesn't look as bad or severe.
I don't think he's concussed.
He's absolutely concussed.
Okay. We'll see.
Gungun said, is Engvall a stud or a dud?
Does anyone even get asked that question?
An absolute dud. This is a great topic here. Brucey and the boys. What is this you sent me, X?
LSU and current New England Patriot wide receiver Kayshon Boutte under investigated for allegedly betting scandal involving him placing a shit ton of bets. 17 were on the NCAA football, 6 were on LSU while he was in Baton Rouge. Who cares if he bet while he was in college?
No, you can't do that. You can't bet on your own. You can't bet on your own team.
Okay. You said he can't bet his own team. He bets on the win.
Unless you're betting on him to win.
Who cares? Who cares? Why are you investigating something that happened a couple of years ago? What does it have to do with him now? You're allowed to bet. You're allowed to legally bet in this everywhere now.
Because he was arrested. He's been arrested, Grumpy.
Well, I don't understand why.
Because he has been arrested. I wonder what's going on. You don't usually just get arrested just for dicking around. He's been charged with illegal online gaming.
Online gaming? I don't get it. I don't get it. Isn't everything online gaming now? Everything?
No, that's gambling is what he's talking about.
Okay.
He allegedly used an alias to get around the age requirement in placing sports wagers. He placed more than 8,900 wagers with at least 17 bets on NCAA football games, including 6 involving LSU, according to the police. In July of 2023, LSU was made aware of the allegations regarding former student athlete for improper conduct related to sports gambling while enrolled at the university. LSU said here, since then, we have fully cooperated, blah, blah, blah. Okay, gotcha. His wagering, according to the police, continued approximately a week after he was taken by the Patriots in the sixth round pick. Yikes. In the 2023 NFL draft. The NFL's gambling policy allows players to bet on sports, but not anything related to the league. The NFL declined to comment.
Yeah.
I mean, this guy had just played 5 games, had 2 receptions and 19 yards. I don't know. Maybe we're overblowing this a bit. The kid did set the single game record for 308 receiving yards for a freshman against Ole Miss in 2020, though.
Okay.
He's obviously gambling. He makes 0 impact now. Unless it comes out that he was like using like, hey, I'm betting against my team. I don't give a shit if he's betting. There we go. Drew says here, I have a nickname for Engvall, Pierre the Pussy. Oh gosh, Frank, grumpy old man. I like Engvall, but he had that turnover. He had that turnover for the 4th goal against. And Freedom Fund Venture says here, Engvall's a dud, a one-trick pony. His only value is transitioning the puck, says Freedom Fund Adventure. Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. Bruce Eater Boy says here, 3 Kansas City Chiefs fans froze to death in a friend's backyard 2 days after they played the Chargers on January the 7th, or the Chargers, not the Chargers, but they played the Dolphins maybe on January the 7th.
Yeah, the one of the friends, I guess the 4th friend, was alive and was inside the house. So
how did they freeze to death?
They were drunk and they passed out.
Probably, yeah.
They're Chiefs fans.
Think about it.
you.
Stupid.
3 or 4 fans drunk themselves. I have to assume. How else do you fall? I mean, like, I don't know. I've never been like, fuck. Were you in a friend's backyard? What the fuck were you doing in the backyard?
Maybe it wouldn't let
When
him
it was
in.
like minus 27?
No, that was against Miami.
That had to be the Miami game.
That was the game that happened.
Buddy. They didn't play the Chargers because the Chargers didn't make the postseason. It had to be the Dolphins.
It was the Miami game when it happened.
Wasn't the last game of the year on January 7th, the last regular
No, it was the Miami game was the game that it happened.
Listen to me, Grumpy. He meant to type Miami Dolphins. So this was the playoff game where the guys had that issue. That was 2 weeks ago. This is the playoff game, my friend.
Okay.
Fuck, Grumpy. Let's pay attention. Let's stick with it.
I'm just going by the comment. I don't know. I didn't put it up.
Let's see. I'll tell you exactly who they played on January 7th.
The Chargers. Grumpy. Who do you think leads a more relaxed lifestyle, TJ or Sun X? Man, that's a really Goon. Let me just tell you something. It's Sun X. I'll just say it's Sun X. It's not even close.
Here you go. It was the Chargers. You are correct, Grumpy. And so is my God, I don't remember hearing about it being that fucking cold at that game though.
It was colder against Miami
when it came out. It came out about the Miami game.
Okay. Let's just move on from
Frank.
Grumpy old man, every time he said the Islanders will lose or got killed by Florida, makes me wonder and think the Islanders will win. Well, maybe they will, but I doubt it. I thought they'd win today. They got beat. And they just don't look like they're motivated. It's the players. I mean, I'm not even surprised when they lose, honestly. Anthony says, sorry, guys. I'm just losing my mind with all my teams. I can't do it anymore. Hey, just hang on. Could be worse.
Eventually, the Islanders will be good. Just gotta. And the Jets will be better next year. Aaron Rodgers will be healthy, and I guarantee you, the Jets will be better next year than they were this year. Book that. Brucey and the boys.
Vince McMahon lawsuit brought up today looks pretty damning. Women trafficking involving Brock Lesnar. Now they paid her $1 million. They said they were going to pay $3 million to keep her mouth shut. Now she says, well, she wants to sue. She wants to sue and get more money and have it vacated. You know what? Pay her the other $2 million and move on. I mean, you had an agreement. Give her the $3 million.
Yeah, I don't know exactly what happened with it. I mean, it just
supposedly Vince was telling her to go out and bang wrestlers and stuff like that. Yeah, like I said, Vince is another guy. Don't hire any women. Just don't do it. Just hire guys. Don't hire women. You can't control yourself.
There's a reason.
Don't
There's a
hire
reason. I was about to say, can't control himself. There's a reason why Vince is no longer the head of that organization, is because because this type of shit that had come up. We didn't know exactly all that had happened, but these type of things are the reason why he's no longer in charge.
They just signed a $5 billion deal this week, 2 days ago, with Netflix to put Monday Night Raw on Netflix exclusive. Think about that.
Is it convenient that this happened to pop up here?
Oh, what a shock. I'm shocked.
Yeah. They use it. I don't even know. We'll see. Would it shock me if Vince did some shit like that? Absolutely not. And you look at Vince now, my God, he's so fucking old, Grumpy. He's walking with a cane. He's just so old. It's weird to see how old he looks now these days, Vince. He's in his 70s.
Yeah, absolutely is.
JP
says the New York Islanders need to change their name to shit-ass cocksucker tit fuckers, because that's what they are. Couldn't even get to OT for Wah in Montreal, and Wah coached that outfit as well as Toe Blake could have. Do you really think the Islanders look good today for the majority until that idiot? What was
Gallagher?
Yeah, no, the other one, the first idiot.
Evans.
Until the idiot Evans takes that stupid penalty. The Islanders were dead in the water, just dead in the water, and it looked it. Montreal beat them to every single puck. That to make it a 2-man advantage. They score 14 seconds, and all of a sudden the Islanders are revitalized. And then they get that 5-minute penalty because, honestly, they weren't scoring in the third period either until they got that 5-minute major. It was Montreal would have beat themselves. Dumb teams, bad teams do dumb things. The Islanders were turning the puck over all the time in their defensive zone tonight. Why hasn't done anything? This is exactly how they looked under Lane Lambert. They haven't changed at all.
And here's the thing, too. You're going to start seeing, I don't care about the results, but you're going to see fans start to say, we need to give Patrick Waugh more time with these results. Guess what? You fire a coach mid-season and bring another guy on because you're expecting immediate changes in results. You're not expecting it to take 10 or 15 games. You're not expecting it to take a 10th or more of the season until you start seeing results. That's why you fire your coach midway through the year, is because you're expecting immediate results. That's why you do that. So you don't really have like hey, let's wait 20 or 25 or 30 games to see how things are. Let's give them 20 games. Well, for the reason they fired Lane Lambert, you need results quicker than 20 games. That's for certain. Dave Johnson says, fire Lou, hire Belichick.
Oh,
I like
they're
that.
friends, actually. They're friends.
Are they really?
Yep. JP says, but it's all the coach, not the dumpster fire roster. Yeah. Hey, listen, don't listen to the Lamanites. They're all freaking hammerheads. They're stupid as sin.
They are. Hi, Grumpy, says Drew L. Buenos dias, says Tony the Werewolf Cheese. There it is. Freedom Fun Adventure, Grumpy.
X, where did you go when you abandoned your post after less than 20 minutes last night before Lane was fired? I said, if your meals suck, you need to change the ingredients. Pellick got to go with the trade deadline.
I wouldn't be opposed to that, but here's the thing. We're not moving him, and he's also got a no trade clause.
He's immovable. He's immovable. Another guy who's immovable. Not going anywhere. Stuck here.
Ball sucks, says Frankie G. He does. TJ, no memes today, but I sent you something. Oh, trust me. I got what you sent me. Frank says here, hello. Sorry, Grumpy. That hello was for the audience in the chat box. While we waited for late look at this. Late TJ. Hi, TJ. And X-Men. How are you guys doing? What's up, Frank? How are you, man? Brucey the boy says here, X, Ron has enough time to put laughing emojis in the comments about Messi. I wouldn't put it past him. Okay, just putting a laughing emoji. I would. Fuck. I'm telling you. You're doing some mental gymnastics over there, Brucey. Messi just signed a deal to do an ad with Michelob Ultra, one of the best. My gosh, Michelob.
Now is he partnering beer with his burger commercials?
No, I heard that he was doing commercials with Bud Light with Dylan Mulvaney.
Oh, wow. Okay.
They're very similar.
I mean, that's a change for him. He used to do the Pepsi commercials, so now I guess
well, their sales went down. So
Goon, Grumpy. Goon, let's get some comments. We got 58 still before we can start talking about the playoffs.
On Anthony Rizzi saying, don't feel bad. I'm also knee deep in the same 3 loser teams cesspool. All right, we don't need these comments either, X. They're comments amongst people in the chat.
Nope, sorry.
Look at this. X is not doing X. We're gonna have to get X. X gonna have to get. What are they? They're gonna get chastised. No, I'm just kidding. Nick Azato says here, Engvall for MVP.
LVP, least valuable player. Freedom Fund Venture says, I thought you weren't going to talk women's sports, but here they are talking about two soccer players acting like catty bitches.
Oh,
Well, I honestly, neither one of them involved in that. That's just Alex. And here's Alex again. New Panthers head coach spent 8 years in Seattle with new Panthers GM Dan Morgan. Canales helped Russell Wilson, Geno Smith, Baker Mayfield put up career high numbers. Oh, God. Can he do the same with Bryce with added weapons? No.
He'll be yes. Bryce Young next year. Bryce Young next year will put up career high numbers because his numbers are so fucking low last year. It is impossible for him not to have career high numbers. So yes, he will help him put up career numbers next year,
unless he gets hurt.
Oh man,
couldn't you see that happening? One of the first couple of plays next year, he just gets obliterated because the offensive line is so bad.
I want to hear this one. Grump, you can read this one. Derek Monroe.
Derek Monroe. He usually is pretty stupid. Absolutely. Shout out to TJ for being the only one in believing in the kingdom down in Buffalo this past Sunday, running it back on Baltimore on Sunday.
That's right. A round of applause, Grumpy. I was the only person who said the Chiefs were going to beat the Bills. I did say that.
TJ was smart. He knew that the officials in the Swift Army, dude, you can't beat them.
I think the Bills just have loser blood in them. They're just losers until they get rid of that freaking that absolute just virus, that cancerous cell, which is Sean McDermott. They will never win a Super Bowl.
They were missing all three of their linebackers and two cornerbacks and a safety. But that being said, offensively, they got real conservative at the end, and they cost them.
They have a shitty head coach, and they will never win anything of crucial game.
Okay, let's move on. We got 54 comments left. Move along.
Here you go. Good.
This one's for you, DJ.
TJ, please read this one. Which hockey sticks were sturdier back in the day, Titans or Coho, Grumpy? I'm going to say the Titans were probably a sturdier stick than those Coho sticks, wouldn't you, Grumpy?
Yeah, but Kuhu's are really good. Next.
All right, here. Frank.
Bruce, you lost all credit by saying Michelob is a good beer. Typical messy douchebag. Now, those are a lot to put up. Drew says, with the Falcons getting Raheem Morris as their new coach, Kirk Cousins is likely not going to be a Falcon now. That's for certain. Now, also it said Atlanta had to give up a third and a fourth round pick to the Rams. Why? He's getting promoted.
Doesn't matter. You traded the coach.
You're not you don't have to trade for a guy.
You can trade for a coach.
Why would you trade for a coach? It's a promotion.
You don't have to franchise.
You don't have to trade for assistant coaches. What are you talking about?
That's what loser franchises do.
Okay.
Brucey and the boys.
Alex says Vegas Super Bowl betting rules. Players in Super Bowl are prohibited from any sort of gambling, including casino games. Players visiting the Super Bowl can gamble, but can't place any sort of wager with a sports book. I bet they do. Frank says, man, I hope Pellick didn't get another concussion. That was a dirty hit by Gallagher. He should be suspended for 3 to 5 games. I think he'll get a 1-gamer for that.
He'll be suspended. Yep. Offensive minds.
Alex says offensive minds dominating the NFL coaching ranks now. It's just when it comes down. It's just what it comes down to. Dan Morgan had the connection with Canales, so that's what likely sealed the deal. I would have liked to see him variable. Or how about Ben Johnson from Detroit? His team actually scores points.
Yeah.
I mean, he turned Jared Goff into a really solid quarterback. Alex says Vrabel's flight was canceled to Charlotte to interview today, but the decision was announced for Corvallis.
Oh, even worse. So they had the opportunity to get the right coach and instead went with the useless piece of shit Canales.
Yes, exactly.
Goon Grump.
Is Al Arbor rolling over in his grave? The superb play, coaching, management, ownership skills of the Islanders regarding that. I don't think he's rolling over anymore. Freedom Front Adventure says Vic Fangio and the Dolphins parting ways was going to happen. He did sign with Philadelphia today. Players had issues with decisions, and so did the team. Wanted to coach in Philadelphia. Does speed of it mean that there was tampering, and should Miami get compensation? They fired him. Goes wherever he wants. They fired him.
I will say that I don't like the firing there. I don't, unless it's just like he wanted Lee to be closer to family in Pennsylvania. But like, I don't get the reason they fired him. I don't think the defense was the issue there on that team. I don't know. It's like, and I feel like the Eagles bringing him on as a defensive coordinator is not going to do anything because that team still has big system.
How old is he? How old is Vic Fangio? Look that up.
He's got to be old. Continue with the comments. I'll pull it up. He's got to be in his late 50s, early 60s, right?
Yeah, I want to say he's 70s. How
Grumpy
old?
Reed.
Okay.
65.
Luke served as a pro scout for the Panthers and joined the broadcasting team. Would also like to think he's involved more internally as an advisor in some role. If you're on the broadcasting team, you're not an advisor.
That's correct. Yeah.
Joseph C. says, sounds like Dan Quinn and Chip Kelly might be a package deal in Seattle. Why would anyone want to try Kelly's offense in the NFL again? I don't get it either.
That would be a dumb decision. Hold on. Frankie G said, how do you guys all three know each other? Well, we're all related. Grumpy's the father, and X and I are brothers.
That's true.
Unfortunately, yeah. Non-play.
Milo Brownie says, I'm a fan and I hate feeling this way about a team I support, but had absolutely no doubts when they tied it up. Okay.
Goon. This is a comment we didn't get. We had started earlier,
Okay.
X, but we didn't actually get to show. Goon Grump.
Sorry to keep discussing the loser Islanders on the show, but I'm a desperate man. If they miss the playoffs this year, is ownership smart enough to ship Lou off to a one-way ticket to Saturn? I would hope so. Who knows?
They won't. Yeah.
I'm starting to
Belichick
worry.
is going to want to break the NFL coaching record. He's not going to college.
True.
Yeah,
I agree.
if he doesn't get another job in the NFL, though, do you think he sits? I don't know. Derek Monroe says here the Bills lost the AFC title game, at Kansas City Grump. So Buffalo, McDermott, and Allen have made it out of the divisional playoff or divisional round only once. Yeah,
Maybe it was that they've only gone as far as the divisional round. I don't know. Did they make the AFC title game? I don't think they. I don't think that was a title.
That was the game that they lost in
One
15
time,
seconds.
No, they
That was
beat
the one
them.
that lost.
They beat them, and then Kansas City lost to Cincinnati in the AFC title game. That's what happened, I believe.
I don't know. All righty, Freedom from Adventure Group. Keep reading along. I'll let you know.
Actually, TJ Belichick loves the service academies. I could see it for a bit. I mean, once my eyesight is restored of being blinded by your pasty white skin, I will be able to see it. He's not going.
No.
He's not coaching in college. Forget that. Frank adds, the following are bad. Anders Lee, Palmieri, Fashing, who I've been saying has sucked lately and had that horrible first penalty by flipping the puck over the glass. Pajot, Engvall, Mayfield, trade them. Modified no trade clause. Sorry. Fashing can be moved. Engvall, no trade clause. Mayfield, no trade clause. Pajot, modified no trade clause. They're not going anywhere.
So the Bills in 2020 lost in the conference finals or the AFC conference game against the Kansas City Chiefs. They lost in the conference championship 38-24. This is a different loss that they sustained to the Chiefs.
Did you also hear that now certain people are saying, oh, if you fumble the ball out of the end zone, they need to change that rule where it's not a turnover to the other team?
You watch
Yeah,
Sooner
but
going to
that's
change interceptions that tip off your wide receiver's hands. Those aren't going to count as picks anymore.
That's
Yeah,
what I believe.
I've seen them talk about that regard. They've talked about it a few times, but it's like, man, they just need to change that. It's just a dumb thing. Keep the rule the same.
Absolutely. It should
Hold on to
mean
the
more.
fucking ball.
Getting close to the end zone should mean more. It's just different.
Hold on to the ball.
Milo Brownie says, it's sad to feel this way about a team I support, but I had zero expectations of a win tonight, even after tying it up. New coach, same team. Exactly. It's not the coach. It's the players.
Yep.
And GM. Joseph C. said there's talk the Cowboys want Vrabel as their defensive coordinator. Why would he become a defensive coordinator?
Yeah, why would he take a step backwards? That doesn't make
Absolutely.
sense. He's done a good job for the Titans, too. I think he's a really good coach.
Yep, I do too.
Gungun says, I think young TJ deserves more credit for hard work he puts into these podcasts. Grumpy and Son X salute TJ by standing up and applaud. Yeah, I've always said without TJ, there is no podcast, but we're going to find out. And actually, because when TJ when his daughter comes next month, I'm just going to say me and X are going to be doing probably the Islanders show and this show for a little while anyway, and you're going to see how much better it is, honestly.
Fuck. Thank you, Goon. Frank says here, meanwhile, the Jets have the worst by far head coach.
I don't think so.
We'll see next year. Drew says here, I think the Panthers got somebody like Canales, and he was because, their team sucks, and none of the premier head coaching candidates wanted to go there.
You want to touch on that one, X?
If you were willing, really quickly, if Mike Vrabel had a flight to come fly to interview with the Panthers,
He was interested.
You don't interview with teams you're not interested in taking a job with.
Well, from what I've heard, the Panthers head coach gig should actually be the #1 head coach gig in all of the league. You go there, you rent out a condo or an apartment for a year. You get like a year lease. You're going to get guaranteed money, and you're only going to have to coach for one season, and then they're going to fire you.
Yep, you'll be on a 5-year contract.
Yeah.
You'll get paid for the next 4 years, guaranteed by the Panthers.
Yep, make a shitload of money to just sit at the house after 1 year.
Joseph C.
The Jets don't have the balls to make that move, although ironically, Bill Belichick loves Aaron Rodgers.
Mm-hmm.
He loved a lot of quarterbacks except for Tom Brady. Drew says, just had Japanese fried chicken for the first time. I will say it's not as good as American chicken, but it's still pretty solid. Are you sure it's chicken and not rats? Probably rats.
I love that. Would be great, Japanese fried chicken.
Alex
continue
says, do you really think Bill will go to an in-division opponent, Buffalo, slap in the face to Patriots fans? He don't give two shits. Thinking maybe traded out the Dallas job. I just think if you're out for a league, why is the team going to say he's going to be 72 then? Let's bring in a 72-year-old coach. I just don't think it happens. Not saying it can't, but I just don't think it will. Drew says, I think the Commanders were rumored to get Ben Johnson from the Lions.
Brucey says here, so no answer. Bruce says here, so no answer when what will happen.
We already played that one.
Okay, so you've been showing comments out of order then. Okay, gotcha. No worries then. Just want to make sure. Joseph C.
I can totally see Jerry Jones panicking, firing McCarthy, and hiring Belichick in season or after next year when the Cowboys show again. You're never going to bring in a coach like Belichick in season. It's just not going to happen.
The one thing I did want to bring up, did you happen to see who the MVP candidates were this year for the NFL?
It's Lamar Jackson.
Yeah, Tyreek Hill or
the candidates. Did you happen to see who the candidates were? Probably the silence means no. That's fine. I'll treat that as a no.
Exactly.
Look at the candidates who have who are listed there as finalists for being the MVP. Brock Purdy, Christian McCaffrey, Lamar Jackson, Josh Allen, and Dak Prescott. Woo, baby.
They all had good regular seasons. It's a regular season award, okay? It's a regular season award.
I think Brock Purdy deserves it.
Yeah, except he played the Ravens and he got shit canned. It won't be Brock
4 interceptions. If they would have let him out, if they would have left him out there, he would have thrown 6 or 7.
Yeah, it's Lamar Jackson. Let's move along. Drew says, here we go with the Brock Purdy hate. Damn. I hope he wins the Super Bowl. He's not winning the Super Bowl. Freedom Funds says, Grumpy, I meant dumping Johnston and not dumping the older Martin, who's on expiring contract and not very interested in being an enforcer deterrent anymore. Yeah, but I mean, Ross hadn't played, but how many games over like 5 years? 40? I mean, they didn't want him. Drew says, I don't think San Francisco's losing to Detroit. Detroit's secondary sucks. Well, at least they have a shitty quarterback going against them. And he thinks Brock will eat their lunch.
Let's talk about the matchup. I mean, we're an hour and 10 minutes in. It's worth talking about the matchup here at this point. Want to get your opinions on what you think is going to happen. We've got here, right? I think it's the first game. Is it going to be the NFC or the AFC who plays first?
AFC.
Okay, so it's going to be the Chiefs against the Ravens. I'm shocked that's not the primetime game, to be honest. But I guess the 49ers on the West Coast, and that's why they're doing that later on. But You hear the first game is going to be the Chiefs at the Ravens. What do we think is going to be a result of that game? Do we think Lamar Jackson and the Ravens can oust the red-hot Kansas City Chiefs, Grumpy?
Go ahead, X. Do you want to talk on
I
that
just
first?
think this year is Lamar's year. I think they're winning it all.
That's it.
I think the Ravens defense is too good. The Kansas City Chiefs played a close game against the Bills because the Bills defense was absolutely abysmal last week. Remember, the Kansas City's offense is not that great. They're not. And the thing about the Ravens, they hit hard. They hit you with a lot of guys. They make teams quit. You saw it last week with CJ Stroud. They literally made his ass quit. They made Nico Collins quit. They beat you into the ground. They play an old style of football on defense. They hit you hard, and they hit you with a lot of bodies. A lot of hats to the ball.
That's the most I've ever heard X ever speak about an NFL game before.
Really?
I guess that's what we have to always ask. Is that it, X? Is that it, X? To get a little bit more of a response out of him. I think the Ravens are going to win because they're better than the Chiefs. Next.
He's very
I just think it's Lamar's year this year, man.
I'm sorry, his response. This is Lamar's year this year.
He's going to win MVP. It's his year, dude.
Okay. I also think the Ravens are going to win. I just think they've been the best team in the league since about week 5. I've talked about it on this show every single week, how the Ravens are the best team in the NFL. And I just think their defense is too tough. Mark Andrews is coming back this week. So now you have Mark Andrews and Isaiah Likely and Todd Monken, the offensive coordinator. You've loved to utilize the 2 tight end set when he was at Georgia's the OC. I think they're going to have some plays that they've never shown to Kansas City before offensively. Their defense is just too damn good. Their defense is really good. They're going to have to be good to beat Mahomes because I think, honestly, I think this is the best Mahomes has ever played in the playoffs because the weapons are not as good as they've been in the past. And I thought he was outstanding last week. I thought he was the player of the weekend, honestly. I thought he was outstanding. Baltimore's a different animal, though. They're deep, man. Patrick Queen and
Roquan Smith.
Roquan Smith, they're just a menace for anybody. I just think they're too good. And Kansas City can't stop the run. If you couldn't stop the Bills' running game, you're not stopping Baltimore's running game. It's just not happening. That's what they do. They inflict their will on you. That's the thing that Baltimore does. They play such a tough style. Other teams are not ready for it. They're just not.
Yeah, I think Baltimore's just really freaking good.
Yeah, I just think, and I agree with you. I just think this is Baltimore's year. They've been the best team in the league all year, and I think they're the team to beat in the AFC. TJ, I know you're probably picking Kansas City.
So what I'm going to say here is this. If the Ravens don't take an early lead, they lose. Lamar Jackson's not a guy, and that team is not a team that comes back from deficits. They
came back from a tie game against Houston.
They're not. You don't come back from a tie game.
Whatever. It was a tie game, and they ended up winning. They literally tied the game right before half.
Listen, I will explain. Just listen. Sit tight. So here's the thing. This is not a team, if they go down 14 points, they win games. They just don't. And not against Patrick Mahomes and not against that Chiefs offense. If they go down early, they lose that game. Simple as that. I'll be very clear about it. If the Ravens jump out to an early lead, I think it's a close game no matter what. I think this is going to be your closest game of the weekend. It's going to be the Chiefs against the Ravens. You could shake your head all you want. I think that Ravens defense is a good defense. Absolutely. I don't think
they're the best defense in the NFL. It's not even close. They're the best defense in the NFL.
Here's the thing, TJ.
Don't say good.
Are you gonna let me finish my fucking statement? I didn't interrupt.
San Francisco could only score, what was it, 16 or 19 points against them, and the Lions, who were in the NFC Championship game, only scored 6 on the Ravens.
Here's the thing: you're in the playoffs now, buddy. It's a different game. It's a different. Let me finish my.
How many points did Houston have last week?
Let me finish my effing point, please. Thank you very much.
For a punt return for a touchdown. That's right.
Let me finish my point.
First strike, 3 points. That's it.
I think if the Chiefs get out to an early lead, the Ravens have zero, and I mean zero chance. If the Chiefs jump up to more than a 14-point lead, the Ravens will lose.
What makes you think they're going to jump out to a 14-point lead? Oh, officiating. That's right. Yeah, they do have a possibility on third down to get some phantom flags. That is true.
I do think that I think the Chiefs get the calls. Absolutely, the Chiefs get the calls. But I'm adding that into my equation. I think the Chiefs are always going to get the calls.
The NFL Swift is there, and they want that viewership.
That's right. If you let me finish my points, you'll hear me say that too. I think the league definitely wants Taylor Swift in some capacity in the Super Bowl. More eyes, more individuals happy about it. But here's the thing, though. Everybody watches the Super Bowl anyway, even
I
those
won't.
Taylor Swift fans.
If I find out that the officials are absolutely giving the game to Kansas City, I won't be tuning in. You forget about me watching that shit.
I
So,
think
Baltimore-
I think it'll be fuck Grumpy. Yes, go ahead. This is supposed to be my time to tell you what I fucking think
haven't
about
you
the
already
game.
made your point? Have you not
I haven't
already
even
made
told you
your
who I
point?
think's gonna win.
How many
I haven't
more
even told you who
times-
I think's gonna win. I haven't even told you who I think's gonna win, Grump.
Just short and sweet.
You
Lamar
have
Jackson,
said
that's all you
3
need.
times already. If they go down by 14 points, they're not coming back.
I haven't even told you who I think's gonna win, Grump.
My God.
Lamar's year. That's all you need.
Here's the
Lamar's
thing.
year.
Baltimore's defense has only given up 16.5 points a game all year. And they've beaten really good teams.
I haven't even told you who I think's gonna fucking win yet.
Just
Again, I'm
Oh.
telling you what I think's what are going to be the impacts of the game, and I'm going to tell you who I think's going to win. Okay, damn it, sit tight, Grumpy. I said sit tight 5
By
times.
the way, good luck running on Justin Matabike. Good luck.
Please sit tight. Please keep your hands inside the vehicle or perform
Tell
a
us
tendency on- I think the Ravens do win against the Chiefs, though. I think the Ravens are not going to go down to. I think it's going to be a close game. That's what I said, right? Close game.
I don't.
If you see the Chiefs take an early lead, Ravens will lose. That's just the case. I think Mahomes is a damn good quarterback. I think you're going to see him play an elevated game again this next week. I think this is his best postseason he's ever had year to date. Sure, he can get the calls. I think that's absolutely a possibility. I will say this. If the Chiefs are down, you can't count them out. If the Ravens are down, I absolutely am counting the Ravens out. That's simple. So I'm giving it to the Ravens. They've got to control possession. They've got to control the ball. The defense has to step up. There's a lot of things I think they need to do, and I think the team can do. So
How
I'm
do you
picking
control, how do you
in a
control the
close-
ball? What's a good way to control the ball?
Run the ball and control the clock.
Oh
There
my
you go.
God.
That's what I'm saying. I think the
they're doing.
Ravens
Like they
can do
run an
that.
RPO offense. Holy
If-
crap.
If
Okay.
they can't do it, and if the Chiefs
got it.
stop a bit of that, they got
got
no
it.
chance.
We got it. I mean, it took you 15 minutes to say that same thing.
If I wasn't fucking interrupted every 5 sentences, we'd be okay.
The warden told you to watch your mouth, first of all.
Watch
Here's
your
the thing.
mouth.
Ravens by 14. Ravens by 14. It will not be close. Will not be close.
Grump.
They're
I'm gonna
just
say Ravens by 7 because of the last second touchdown by so Ravens by 7.
21 then. It's not going to be close.
Okay.
The Ravens
Alrighty.
they had their obligatory first half coming back and playing in skipping a bye week, coming back, and I think they dominated the Texans. And then in the second half, they just rolled over them like they've done everyone the whole year. Okay.
The
game
Texans are
2.
not a good team, buddy.
Yeah, you know what? They look pretty good down the stretch, though, and they were able to score points. They were able to put up points, and they got shut down. Just shut down. Their offense is better than
Oh.
Kansas City.
Oh wow.
Their
The
offense is
Texans
better
have a
than
better
Kansas
offense
City.
than
This year-
Kansas City.
This
Keep
year,
going. You know what? Next comment. Let's move on to the next topic. That's just ridiculous. You're ridiculous. Let's go to the next one. The
Kansas
Lions
City
against the
stats.
Warriors.
they had 6 more points than Kansas City did this year, and they got
The
shut
Lions against the 49ers. Who are we thinking?
out. Go ahead, X. Give us your
I
succinct.
mean, I think the 49ers are going to win, but I really want the Lions to win.
Is that it, X? Is that it?
No.
Can you give us a little bit more, X? Expand upon this, please.
I think the Lions picked up some crucial injuries in last week's game. Their right guard was out, their 3-time All-Pro right guard.
Center,
That's going to hurt them.
Ragnow,
that's
correct.
What?
center.
Ragnow, as you're talking about.
No, I thought it was their right guard.
He was hurt too, but I think the center is also injured.
Oh, well, regardless, they have some injuries on their team, and San Francisco's not really banged up with the exception of Deebo Samuel, but I think Deebo Samuel will play this week.
Okay, he's still banged up. So you're picking San Francisco by how many?
I think San Francisco's going to win. I'll just say by 7, by touchdown.
Now, here's my analysis. I don't think San Francisco can get down to Detroit.
Oh, well, that's yeah.
I don't think they can go. I don't think they can go down 10 points to Detroit. They cannot do that because Brock Purdy has looked horrible in the postseason, just horrible. The bloom has come off the rose. He's turned mid. It struck midnight. He's turned back into the pumpkin that he is. If they can run the ball and dominate on the ground, okay. But if they can't stop Detroit, they're in trouble because Brock Purdy is not a guy who's going to drive you down the field if you're 2 scores down. Just not going to happen. That said, I'm just going to pick Detroit. Just go for it. I want Detroit to win so bad, and that hammerhead Dan Campbell, that I'm picking Detroit by 7.
I hope Detroit wins. I really want them to win.
Remember when you hated Detroit and Dan Campbell? Remember that?
I hated Dan Campbell, not Detroit. Never hated.
You hated Dan Campbell, and I always told you I like Dan Campbell, Grumpy.
Yes, I remember. I remember.
Somebody was right again, Grumpy.
Okay,
I'll tell you this.
Let's get
I'll
to
tell you this. I think you're right. I don't feel confident if you go down 14 points, let's say middle way through the fourth quarter, that Brock Purdy's the guy to score you 2 touchdowns, 2 touchdown winning drive, or 2 touchdowns to tie the game up to force an overtime situation. I don't feel like they are a team that plays well behind. The 49ers have looked suspect as hell in that game last week. I'll just be honest with you. They did look suspect to the fucking Packers. I had them as my favorite to win the Super Bowl. There's nothing that strikes more doubt in my mind than the way they played last week. I'm saying the 49ers are winning, but I'm not sure they're winning the Super Bowl. I think whoever wins the AFC probably wins the Super Bowl at this point. So the 49ers, they can impress me. I need to see them do a few things, though, this weekend. I think they beat the Lions. I think it'll be a close game. I need to see them keep the Lions offense in check, and I need to see them establish the run game and establish the line of scrimmage on both offense and defense. If they do that, I'm back in my spot thinking the 49ers win it all.
Okay, I just want to say one thing. I think that the 49ers defensive line has been disappointing coming down the stretch this season. I don't think they've been anywhere near as good as they have in previous years. You can run on them. And that's if Gibbs and Montgomery can run the ball, it opens up everything in the passing attack. I think they're the 49ers' 2 best players are the 2 linebackers, Wagner and I forgot the other guy. It doesn't matter. They're both really good.
Warner, right?
Warner, yes, Warner and whoever the other guy is. It's not Wagner and Warner.
You're thinking of Bobby Wagner.
Yeah. So, but yeah, I'm going with Detroit. I just feel like it.
Okay. I got Detroit because that's what I feel. Well,
let's win.
I don't blame you. Yeah. Drew L., grumpy old man.
Detroit needs a better defense in order to be a Super Bowl caliber team. Well, you know what? We'll find out after Sunday evening.
Brucey and the boys, Grump.
Brazilian domestic league is better than the Bundesliga League Un. Grumpy, the ratings are a joke. Ajax, Porto. Oh, you're talking individual teams. You're just talking about individual teams. I think they're talking about strength of the whole. They're talking
about strength of the whole league. And by the way, that's the same website. They work in accordance with FIFA.
Oh, well, I don't believe it either because they named Messi Player of the Year last year. So
but no, FIFA never makes mistakes, dude. They never make mistakes. I don't know what you're talking about.
Okay. Alex says TJ forgets to mention that the $3 billion the Saudis are willing to donate to their league just mentioned those 3 players, Salah, Son, and De Bruyne. No mention of infrastructure, even though it's in dire need of it.
So they said they're willing to put a $3 billion investment into Saudi football. Now, here's the thing. They're not going to pay $1 billion for Salah, Son, and De Bruyne. If there's one thing you notice, right, they want to bring big name players. They're not stupid with how they manage their money, and they do a lot of infrastructure building across all different avenues of life over there. $3 billion is not going to be spent on 3 players. They're going to bring in big players, and they're going to increase the infrastructure. Be prepared. That's what you're going to see.
I just want to say one thing. That Saudi league, they wipe their ass with money, though. I mean,
yes, money is not an object to those owners because they have so much of it.
Drew says, TJ and X, is it me? Is it just me? Or whenever Grumpy remotely feels that Tom Brady's legacy is threatened by the great Brock Purdy, my God, Patrick Mahomes, etc., he gets super defensive, starts screaming.
Yes,
okay, that's not true, first of all. Brock Purdy sucks. He's a game manager. You realize that Shanahan called up Brady and told Purdy in May of this last year, we want to bring in Tom Brady to be the quarterback, and you can sit on the bench and watch for a year because he knows that he needed Tom Brady to win a Super Bowl. He knows it. And Brady said, hey, go kick rocks, you dumb bastard. I beat you when you were in Atlanta. I wanted to go to San Francisco. You said no, so I went to Tampa and won there. I don't know what
That
happened.
kind of sounds. That kind of
He
sounds.
was retired. Here's the thing.
That sounds like he's. Oh fuck.
At that time, Brady was just done in March of last year. He was just done. He was done.
It
So-
sounds like if that's the case, maybe he should have, I don't know, swallowed his pride and determined maybe to win another Super Bowl.
He just didn't want to play anymore. You could tell at the end, it was such a mental grind for him. I think being divorced from the wife, I just think that his last season, it was a real grind. And once you lose that will to play, I don't think you ever get it back.
Yes, so to answer your question, Grumpy absolutely gets threatened. Somebody gets close to Brady's legacy.
That
That
was
is
close to his real legacy. What are you talking about?
finish. Brady's legacy is far out of reach, but anytime people start getting close, Grumpy gets upset. You know what it reminds me of? Grumpy was getting all fiery about David Tuckman calling us clowns yesterday. It reminds me of like when Paul Bissonnette is fighting Butch Goring and Grumpy's Butch Goring, where he's taking everything all personal and getting all fussy and upset about it.
Don't call me out. Don't call me and TJ out. I'm not taking that shit from some clown who hangs out with Phil.
Drew L. TJ, Jim Harbaugh already coached an elite quarterback. And Joe Flacco. Donald Trump said so. Oh, gosh.
Flacco.
Oh, man. Here you go.
Jim Harbaugh did not coach Flacco. That was John Harbaugh who coached Flacco.
Yeah.
Alex says Saudi ranked 27th and MLS ranked 15th on an article below. Since you all like ratings, no question MLS is better as whole. Saudi is top heavy with no depth. MLS is unwatchable. It's unwatchable.
Yeah, it's not even close.
Again, I'll go with the one that's in accordance with FIFA.
I like this from my little brownie real quick. She says the whole team should give Engvall the Gomer Pyle full metal jacket treatment tonight. Bars of soap, pounding the piss out of them. I like that one. These rankings are updated, blah, blah, blah. Okay, Jason Kelsey got a little girl who was a Bills fan to meet Taylor Swift. Was also pre-gaming with Bills Mafia, chugging beer. What a legend.
He's a dipshit. The whole family.
He went out there and drank beer. Great. And there's some girls like, can I meet Taylor Swift? Yeah, come here. As he's absolutely intoxicated. Yeah, come here and meet Taylor. Okay. I don't care. I just don't like him ripping his shirt off, trying to make everything about him the same way Swift. Everybody makes it about Swift now. And now that he happened to be there by proxy, he's like, how can I make this also about me? I didn't like that. Drew L.
Drew says the legend of Nick Foles, a.k.a. Big Dick Nick, is done for. But now we have a new sheriff in town. It's Brock Purdy, a.k.a. Big Cock Brock.
Big Dick Joe. That's what I like there.
Nick D says it wasn't Barry. It wasn't Lambert. It's too early to blame Wah. It's all on the old man. Fire Lamoriello immediately. It's on the players. It's on the players.
The old man puts the players in charge. So, yes.
Yes. But the players, it's just, they're not good enough. Sorry. And they quitters, some of them.
Bruce.
Alex says Boutte was betting on himself to cover prop spreads like TDs and over under receiving yards.
If you're betting the under on fucking receiving yards, we may have some problems.
Yeah, if you're betting the under for receiving yards and touchdowns, it's because you know that you're not involved in the offense that week.
Or you're gonna fucking drop important plays.
No, it's if the game plan is not really involving you, you pick the under.
Yeah. Again, you cannot vote against your team. If you're voting for them, I have no problem, but not against.
Drew says also X and TJ. I was sent something that was going on at the Knicks game on Wednesday. Ugh. Grumpy's head is going to explode.
Yes, I think that is a perfect segue. Now, we talked about we haven't covered enough basketball of recent. And, I will say this. This, I think, is a great way to get Grumpy and people like Grumpy back with the NBA. Well, Grumpy, do you happen to see what's on the screen? Are you paying attention, buddy?
What the hell is that? It looks
Grumpy,
like.
What do you? Hold on. X, don't say anything. Grumpy, what do you think these things are?
Twinks.
What do you think this is?
Little Twinkies.
No, Grumpy, watch yourself, please, Grumpy. We don't have to mute you. But so what do you think this is? You got two people dressed up. They almost look like in costume or something. What do you think they are, Grumpy?
They look like some
There's
little
a name. I'll give you a hint. There's a name for these. There's a name for people who do
It
this.
starts with an F.
It does start with an F. Grumpy, don't say what you're probably thinking.
What does it look like is on them? What do they look like they have on them?
They look like mystical LGBTUV.
No, Grump. It starts with an F. What does it look like is on them?
They're wearing
Fur.
Furries, Grumpy. These
Furries.
are
Good job,
furries.
Grump.
Why are they?
Applause for Grumpy? He got.
Why are
there.
they groping one another?
Listen, look at this. So on the court side, it was part about some sort of the thing you like, Grumpy, the diversity, equity, and inclusion thing.
That's how
Now-
you know your basketball team sucks.
Look at this shit. Look at they were showcasing this like oof.
This is the highlight of your team's game right here.
Look at this.
This is
here.
how you know your team sucks.
Oh my god! Look at the guy. He can't. I'm like, what the fuck? You know, the only thing that could have been better is if both of those things got decapitated right on screen.
Look at this shit. My God. Ugh.
Hold on. I wish you would get closer so I could see the hot chick in the middle. I don't care about those two whatevers.
It's
Oh.
obviously like a staged event, but
It's
I'm
the
like, why are you promoting this?
Oh,
I'm like, God almighty.
you
Because
really
they sure as
want-
hell can't promote the team.
Is that a question for me to answer?
No. This is a hype. This is a conversation, Grumpy. We're just gonna have you sit in the background. Well, X and I guess I will have the discussion.
fine.
That's how
I'll
you
just-
know that team sucks.
Go ahead.
is when that's
You
the
can
high,
talk.
you don't have any highlights from the game at all. Your biggest highlight is people dressed up as furries feeling each other up in the front row.
What happened to
That
the
is
good old
sad.
days where you just put the kiss cam up there and had fans kiss their loved ones and kiss their wife or a boyfriend and girlfriend? What happened to the good old days when they would just go ahead and say, let's do the dance cam? What happened to the good old days where they did like, they do stuff like that to engage the fans? Not saying let's parade out some furries and have them do some weird like rubbing on each other in costume. I don't know. We don't need to see whatever that is.
I will just sit here and smirk derisively while you two opine on this comment.
We're done, Grumpy. You don't even
That's
have
why
to
you
worry.
should,
About
you would have shut your mouth. I wanted to add that in first, but you just won't shut up.
I'll be honest with you, Grumpy. We're kind of worried
Please,
anytime we start letting you talk about a topic like that, Grumpy, because you're a loose fucking
Steve
cannon.
says, how can anyone not see that the problems with the Islanders is all on Lou? How the hell does he get to hire 3 coaches? Exactly. In 6 years, 3 coaches. Tommy Schroeder says, Pierre the pathetic. I cannot stand Engvall. Grumpy old man has been right all along about this. I discussed it. Exactly. I'm always right.
He needs
If
to
you
be
wanna know-
benched.
Yeah.
He just says he needs to be benched. Disgusted.
Disgusted.
Freedom Fund Adventure, Grump.
Butter was probably Butte was betting on games he played. Sounds like they're saying he influenced games. I don't gamble. It's a vice.
Yep. Engvall's still on this fucking team, says Brian in New York. Remember,
okay.
he was healthy scratch the first game or so under Patrick Waugh, but
I think he was hurt. I think he was healthy scratch too. Phil said he was hurt. I don't believe it. And now here's the thing. So is he going to go back to being hurt after today's game?
his ego is hurt after tonight's game.
Pussy. Drew said, I haven't watched an Islanders game since November 16th, and for good reason. I'm only turning on the TV when I'm super bored. Well, then why would you watch the Islanders? And whenever there's no other sports on.
Ugh. The Islanders, the way they're playing right now, it's like you could be doing housework or doing things around the house as you play the game. It's like, oh, gotcha, the Islanders scored, or oh yeah, we're down 2-0. Frankie G says here, do you guys think Trevor Bauer will throw another pitch in the MLB?
I hope he does.
A way to go out on a limb. Do you think he will?
I hope he does. Says that.
Probably not.
I don't think he will. I don't think he will.
Absolutely he will. Absolutely he will.
What happens if
Guaranteed he
you're
will.
wrong?
Guaranteed he will.
What happens if you're wrong?
So it was a wrong take.
No
But it's
great
never,
elixir
I'm
for
never
the
wrong.
entire day.
I'm never wrong.
You have to drink regular water on the podcast.
Whoa, Grumpy. Could you imagine
You
an
think
entire
that I
podcast?
listen to
He'd be
anything?
like the Wicked Witch of the West. I'm melting. I'm melting.
Do you think I listen to anything that either one of you say and consider it for my lifestyle? The answer is no.
Yes, I think he would. Grumpy.
He's already had teams reach out to his agent. I think he will get signed.
I hope he does.
Oh, here we go. Frankie G says, what do you guys think of the Major League Baseball Hall of Famers?
Well, I'll put those up on screen for you. here.
Absolutely. Absolutely. And do we want to show like their history? Like their careers?
I can do that. I can do that. Give me a second, though. Let me pull this up here.
And for
talk
those who
about it. It's because the headlines, right, are Joe Mauer, Todd Helton, and Adrian Beltre. Those are the headliners of this class.
And
Joe Mauer was really good.
Yes.
Did
Adrian
you know this about Joe Mauer, that he was a 3-star athlete in high school and he was recruited by Florida State to play college football? He was actually the #1 player in I think wherever he came from in the state for college football. Do you know
No, did not. That being said, I think he took the right sport, because when you make the Hall of Fame, well, it ain't getting any better than that.
So these are the big three that are behind it there. Just a voting percentage. We'll look at it. I didn't know Billy Wagner could possibly squeak into the Hall of Fame. What an absolute disgrace that would be to the Hall.
Exactly.
If he squeaks himself into the Hall of Fame, they've got a problem. I'm sorry. And knowing that he has next year still on the ballot, he'll probably make the Hall of Fame.
I look at, well, there's some good first timers coming in next year, better than this year's. I think when you look at Hall of Fame, and because I don't care about steroids, I don't care about it, never have. And I also don't care about stat stuffers like Adrian Beltre.
You always hated Adrian Beltre, and I always told you he was going to make the Hall of Fame.
Okay, Adrian Beltre played 21 years. He only made 4 All-Star teams in 21 years.
Who cares about the All-Star game?
Well, dude, it means that you're the best players. He wasn't even the best player on his team. He had a couple of good years, really good years. His last year with the Dodgers, just before contract year, was his best year ever. He came in second in MVP voting. Other than that, I think in MVP votes, I think he was only in the top 5 like twice. I just don't see how that guy's a Hall of Famer. Yeah, he was a stat stuffer. Did he win anything? No. I mean, he had
5 gold gloves, 5 gold gloves, 4 silver sluggers, 2 platinum gloves, whatever those are. But you look at the stats. The stats speak for themselves, Grumpy, and that's where I think what.
I just hit skip ad.
Grumpy, fucking relax, huh? Okay, you look at his career averages. He had a career of 286. He had a career of 600. I'm sorry. He had a career of 477 homers, 1,700 RBIs.
Isn't Shohei Ohtani only like 5 home runs shy of that? And he's only been playing for like 4 years.
Yeah, Shohei Ohtani is your first ballot Hall of Famer. That's right.
Okay, but he never won anything. Did you ever say, "Oh, Adrian Beltre is the best third baseman in the game ever"? Did anyone ever say that about him? No.
David Wright was better than him.
I don't know. I thought David Wright was a really good player. He played for the Mets, but
He'll never make the Hall of Fame.
But you look at Adrian Beltre. He had the one big year. There it is. Just slide over to the awards, because that's the big one. It's like that's what people think about you. Boy, awful freaking blank. Okay,
not necessarily. Look at this. God. He had multiple years where he was finishing top. He had 2 years in top 3 in MVP voting and top 10 MVP voting in quite a few years too. I'm sorry. I know you don't like him.
No, not for 95% of the vote and first time eligible for Hall of Fame. Absolutely not. I never thought, wow, Adrian Beltre, that's a guy. I mean, he's somebody I'd pay money to see. No, he's not one of those guys. He never was. He had 1 year, 48 home runs, right? Isn't that, well, what is that? What's 48 there? What is that for?
That's got 48
homers.
Okay.
We've moved on. You don't like him.
So that's a no for him. Todd Helton? No. Another guy? Absolutely not. Again, look at what he's won. Nothing. 5-time All-Star. He played, 18 years? You only made the All-Star game 5 times?
You care about the All-Star game. Who gives a fuck?
Well, because guess what? If you're the best player on your team, you make the All-Star game.
What?
Adrian Beltre, 4 years out of 21, he makes the All-Star game. He had one really big year in a contract year, by the way, right?
Again, another guy with 3 golden gloves and 4 silver sluggers and a batting title.
Okay, pull up Gary Sheffield. Who
That's what I was
didn't
going to say. How the hell did
I'll
Gary
pull
Sheffield
up
nominate
Gary
him?
Sheffield. Yes.
Okay, when you watch Gary, who are you scared of coming up in the plate in a big situation? Adrian Beltre, Helton, Todd Helton, or Gary Sheffield?
Gary Sheffield.
Absolutely.
In
When you saw
Colorado,
this right here,
in Colorado,
you knew it was coming.
in Colorado, I'm afraid of Todd Helton. Simple as that. That's him.
He's played his whole career in Colorado. His numbers were like drastically reduced when he went on the road. He was a Colorado guy.
He hit. Think about this. His career batting average is 316. Are you kidding me, Grumpy? Please.
So that's the
help
whole
me.
thing, just having a 316 batting average. No.
I thought his home run numbers would be higher.
Yeah, well, they're
369 homers,
Trash.
1,400 RBIs, 1,400 runs. I mean that gets
No.
you places.
no.
Pull up Gary
No.
Sheffield's numbers.
Yeah,
We'll
put
pull
up
it up.
Gary Sheffield, who did not, and he won't make the Hall of Fame now.
That's
This was
correct.
his last year eligibility. I'm just saying, when Gary Sheffield came up, it's like, holy crap! You knew he's a guy that you were scared of. You were scared of him. He
All
was
right.
that good.
Wow. How many MVP? Oh, wow. Look at this. Grumpy's got 9 All-Stars. That should make the Hall of Fame.
Guess what it
He's
shows?
got what, about 200 more home runs than the
He
other
had no
guys? Same
Golden
batting
Gloves.
average.
Guess what? He couldn't field. No Golden Gloves.
5 Silver Sluggers, World Series champion, 9-time All-Star, Rookie of the Year.
He couldn't
Okay,
field.
Can we just slide over to the the ones where the other guys are freaking blank all the time? Look at it. Look at it. Look
It's
at it.
pretty blank too,
Time-
buddy.
Look how many times he's in the MVP race. And here's another thing about Gary Sheffield. He was not liked by the sports writers. He was not. He was a surly guy.
He only didn't finish top 10 in MVP 1 year.
No, that's
Out
not
of his
true.
years.
Multiple years he didn't finish MVP. He didn't even have MVP votes multiple years. X. These blanks mean that he was not an MVP.
I said out of his years that he was up for MVP, he only didn't finish top 10 1 year.
3, 4, 5, 6. So he's only 6 years. 6 years. He
7.
played 22 years.
7. It was 7. No counting.
6 years. 6 years, Grumpy. 1,
7.
2, 3. The 17th we're not counting. 1, 2, 3. 6 total years he finished top 10 in MVP voting. I know how to
That's
count.
better than Beltre. That's better than Beltre and better than Helton.
It's not better than Beltre. I don't
It
want to
is.
pull it back
It
up.
absolutely
is.
was.
It is.
Absolutely was.
Beltre only finished top 10 3 years.
That's it. 3.
Tell me more. Keep.
So he
glazing
was
over it.
two
Again,
times
Keep glazing
outside
over
better
Gary
MVP
Sheffield
vote.
and how great he is. Keep glazing over him. Let's
And
get
again,
your little session.
Who would you be scared of? Who's the last guy you want to face in a big situation?
The guy who said 200 more home runs.
Believe it or not, there's more than just batting in the game of baseball, Grump.
David Ortiz got it in the Hall of Fame as a designated hitter.
Designated hitter. What's your
I mean,
point?
it's not like Adrian Beltre was the greatest fielding third baseman or Todd Helton was the greatest fielding first baseman. Freaking first baseman. Look how bad his numbers were for first baseman. Just stop. Here's the thing. I was really disappointed. What about A-Rod and
made
Manny Ramirez? Bring up A-Rod and Manny Ramirez. Let's see what their numbers look like. They didn't make it either.
Hell, bring up Barry Bonds,
Fucking ads. over
Mark
here.
McGuire.
Me nuts. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So Beltre had the exact same amount of top 10 finishes in MVP voting. So you're just
Why
wrong.
don't you put it up on the screen?
Because
Okay, here it
Did you
is.
not look it up? Did you not look it up?
No,
You
Q
just
look
looked at it, but you were not paying attention.
Top 10
You're
finishes.
saying he had 6 top 10s. He only made the All-Star 4 times.
No,
Okay,
MVP.
here you go. Look, 7, 7, 7, 3, 9. There's 5 and 2. So that's 6 top 10 finishes. Can we please move on?
He lied. It was only 4.
It was only 4.
Yeah. Okay.
He
7
lied.
or 6. 6 top 10 finishes.
Put up,
Same
put up
shit.
A-Rod. Put up A-Rod. Just for
A-Rod
shits
should
and
be in the Hall of Fame.
Why is
But
he
they
not?
won't
Why are they
because
letting
he's
these
terrible.
pieces of shit in?
Roger Clemens should be in the Hall of Fame. Kurt Schilling should be in the Hall of Fame, but they won't.
They didn't like his politics. That's why he's not in the Hall of Fame.
Yeah, some people make it and some people don't for just or unjust reasons. I
Well,
think that A-Rod and Roger Clemens, just because they use steroids, not making it, or
You know what it does? It taints the Hall of Fame. It may,
Yes.
you know, it means nothing now to make the Hall of Fame.
It means that your sport is a joke.
If you're
it
liked
means
by
your
the
sport is
media
a
and you're
joke.
liked by the public, you get in.
David
kind of
Ortiz-
reminds me really quickly about how Lionel Messi's been handed Ballon d'Or after Ballon d'Or. It invalidates the award and invalidates the thought process from others. It's the same thing the Hall of Fame is, like with Pete Rose not being in the Hall of Fame and A-Rod. How do you say Roger Clemens is one of the best 5 pitchers in the history of the sport, in my opinion. You look at the amount of Cy Youngs he won and the stats he put up, he's a top 5 pitcher in the history of the MLB, and he's not in the Hall of Fame. A-Rod, probably a top 5 batter in the history of the MLB, not in the Hall of Fame.
A-Rod's probably top 3 player in the history of the game.
Maybe, sure. He's damn good.
Him,
Same
Babe
thing with
Ruth.
Roger Clemens.
Well, maybe not top 3. There was a lot of great players.
Barry Bonds.
Top 10, Barry Bonds, Babe Ruth, Willie Mays. Willie Mays was so good.
How about Ted Williams?
So good. Ted Williams wasn't the fielder that Barry Bonds was.
The splendid Splinter.
He
I
was
knew
a
he's a
great
hitter, though.
Yeah. Willie Mays was tremendous. And he had 660 career home runs, and he hit in 2 really difficult parks at home runs.
Polo Grounds.
Candlestick Park in San Francisco, where the wind was blowing off the bay, holding balls in, and the Polo Grounds, where it was like 510 feet to center field. I mean, 480 to the valley, to the left and right center. I mean, really, really tough.
Career batting average of 295. Amount of home runs, just shy of 700, but 696 home runs, 2,086 RBIs, and 2,021 runs, with a total of 329 stolen bases.
You take away his last year, he's a 300 hitter who averages 125, 130, or 125 at least, and 45 home runs, right? Let's scroll over and look at the voting thing, the
Awards.
individual awards. He made even MVP.
Year.
Look at this every year. 2-time winner. I thought it was 3-time.
3-time winner MVP.
3-time. Okay.
Doesn't make the Hall of Fame.
Doesn't. Yeah. I don't. And he's like
2 gold gloves, 10 silver sluggers as well.
And changes his position to to kiss St. Derek's ass. Changed position. He was a better shortstop than Derek Jeter. Absolutely was. Now, as he got older, put on more weight, you switch position. So, but other than that, yeah, look at Clemens, same thing.
Roger Clemens, this is the thing that I think is just not 7 fucking Cy Youngs. 7 Cy Youngs. 2 Triple Crowns, 7-time ERA title. The fact that he's not in the Hall of Fame is also fucking criminal. God damn it. Absolutely criminal. Look at the numbers that he put up over here. Leading the MLB in ERA pretty much year in, year out. Look at the amount of complete games. Look at the amount of shutouts. The guy was a strikeout machine as well. It's just like the fact that he's not in the Hall of Fame is just, it's nuts to me. A 3.12 career ERA. And you look at how many wins that he had as well. He had 354 wins in his career as well. And the amount of strikeouts are just nuts.
Yep.
Absolutely nuts here. 4,672 strikeouts.
4,672. Oh, okay. There we go. Sorry.
Yeah, 4,672 strikeouts. 7 times Cy Young.
How many times was he in the Cy Young top 10? I mean, I've been a lot.
My God, year in, year out.
1, 2, 3.
Hold on.
6, 7,
3,
8.
4, 5. So 5 on top of his 7. So 12 times he was in the top 10 for Cy Young.
Yeah.
Wow. And he only had 24 years. Half of his career, he was a top 10 pitcher in the MLB.
Yep.
That's
why I'm just underwhelmed. You have to let those guys in. They're just, again, I don't care about steroids. When you look at, somebody's got to pass the eyeball test. You listen to the young kids. Oh, well, it's WAR. He has this war. I could care less about WAR. When you look at somebody or in a big situation, if you're a fan of that team, you want him up, or if you're going against his team, that's the last guy you want up. That's how you tell a truly great player. That's how you do it. There are some guys that you're just scared of as an opponent, or that's a guy I trust. And that's,
kind of like Tom Brady,
Well, yeah.
Oh my God! All righty, let's fucking move along. Don't
Yeah,
even
let's be honest.
even bait him with that.
No, but seriously, Patrick Mahomes is in that category as well.
Yeah, he is.
Absolutely is. Absolutely
Please
is.
don't bait him with that. There you go.
So is
Or
Joe
Saul,
Burrow.
like the only guy on the ice. Says Brian.
True.
Goon Goon Grump.
When the WWE signs a $5 billion deal with Netflix, it's clear we live in a weird time where entertainment is more important than putting money towards more important things in society, healthcare, homelessness.
Yeah, always. Always. They don't. Here's the thing. All these it's just like, think about how much money it's like. I always laugh when the NFL did their Care for Cancer stuff, where they're like, "Hey, fight for breast. Oh, we're gonna sell all of our pink stuff." And hey, they didn't even send. I think it was like 10% of the proceeds to cancer. It was a lousy number. So it's like,
ridiculous.
Brucey Grump.
Could a team like the Cowboys attract Josh Allen? Seems like they can't get past Kansas City in the playoffs, no matter where the game is.
Josh Allen's going nowhere.
Yeah, and
they're going to franchise tag him.
He
isn't already franchise tagged.
He's not up for a contract extension. Dak Prescott is, and he's going to get paid by Dallas.
I think that's stupid for them to re-sign him.
So I'm just going to read this. No comments. Just reading this real quick. Leah Thomas, Leah Thomas is suing the swimming organization. What an idiot. I think every female swimmer should sue that dude for loss of income and opportunities. Just so we'll keep an eye on that. Nothing else to say on it. Co-hosts were good sticks, says JP. Absolutely. Drew L says here.
Sorry.
Well, I can rest easy knowing that the Eagles hired another hack in Vic Fangio. At the defensive coordinator position. His scheme is super outdated. He's a glorified Brandon Staley. Oh, gosh, here. Andrew Gladden, he says, the Lions are winning the Super Bowl. Let's go, Lions.
I'm rooting for the Lions. I'm absolutely rooting for the Lions.
Milo Brownie says, TJ, how the hell do you have the ability to read deleted text? Is it confirmed you're having your? It is confirmed you're having a girl. What? Deleted text?
I don't know. I just put it up there. I don't know.
I'm not sure. And go Red Wings, says Aaron. Absolutely. I'm not sure. I don't think you can read deleted text unless, I don't know. Frankie G says here, if Belichick does not get a job this year, I think he could go to the Giants next year because him and the owner, John Mara, are good friends. And Belichick would like to finish where he started.
No, he wants to break the all-time wins record.
I don't think they can do that with Daniel Jones.
No. Absolutely not.
All righty here. Freedom Fund Adventure.
Grumpy, if the magical day ever happens where X treats you to a meal, the second you're done, you get up and leave. Don't say anything. Don't turn around. Just haul ass like he did. Wow.
Oh, God. All righty here. Brucey says here, Mahomes is 3-1 against Lamar. Lamar is going to rely on his defense to win the game for him. Kansas City can't play sloppy and turn the ball over from tipped interceptions, drop passes, fumbles out of the end zone. Yep. Can't do that. I agree.
Mahomes is a better quarterback than Lamar Jackson, but Baltimore is they're tough. They're a tough team. I don't see anyone beating them. I really don't.
Freedom Fund Adventure says, will the NFL allow anybody to beat Kansas City? That's the good question.
Well, that's a question.
Brucey Grump.
TJ said the Ravens weren't making the Super Bowl last week. Now it's flip-flop 30. And he's picking them to make the Super Bowl. I've seen this before. At least he didn't wait until kickoff like the Washington-Michigan game.
Clever Brucey, but wrong again, my friend. I'll say this. Yes, I just think a lot of things have to go right after taking more thought on it for the Chiefs to win. And could they go right? Yes. I just think more likely is probably the Ravens do what they're supposed to. But maybe not. Debo was limited in practice today. Honestly, I'd sit him.
No.
You could win without him. This team, I think
they're a totally different team without him in the lineup. If he can play, you play him. Maybe you limit his snaps. He has to be able to play on Sunday. I mean, just got to be able. He just has to be able to play. If I'm San Francisco, I'm running the ball a lot, though. I'm running McCaffrey. I mean, Detroit did not show that they could stop Rachaad White. Tampa Bay's rush offense is like one of the worst in the league, and they ran on them. So you got to think McCaffrey's going to be able to do that as well.
Derek Monroe.
Chiefs, Jawan Taylor is the most penalized lineman in the league this year. Well, it's because he's always holding. Also explain, I mean, he holds on every play. Also explain Kansas City's loss to Green Bay this season if they always get all the refs calls. And then they start whining like bitches to the press and they get fined, which they deserve to get fined.
Hey, you can't make a call like that. Even when he's offside, you can't make that call.
He's offside.
Yes, you can.
Guy lines up offside. They do it all the time. They do it all the time.
Brucey.
Alex says Purdy has smaller hands, and it was monsooning. He struggled to get a grip. You know what? He's a shitty quarterback.
Was he struggling to get a grip in San Francisco when he played against the Ravens?
I think he struggles to get a grip when he goes to the bathroom in the morning too. He struggled to get a grip on the balls against Green Bay, which led to several bad throws. San Francisco run D has to step up. Can't let Detroit gash them up the middle like Green Bay. Detroit can't run the ball.
Brucey Grump.
TJ, the Saudis willing to give Messi 1.2 billion. Can't tell me they wouldn't offer the best winger in the Premier League history, Salah, and one of the best playmakers in the world for years now. Similar money with inflation.
Yeah, so they did not offer him $1.2 billion contract. That's just not accurate. Brucey Grump.
X likes FIFA all of a sudden when it hurts his narrative.
When it fits his narrative.
Okay.
No, FIFA's never wrong. What do you mean? Never do anything wrong.
That's sorry.
Had this in that video. Grumpy's sanity is melting away. Grumpy is Phil's partner's name, Touchman. Oh,
It's
gosh.
Tuckman.
Touchman's better. TJ, who
not-
were your favorite O linemen growing up? I didn't have favorite O linemen growing up.
Joe Thomas.
I like Joe Thomas, but I didn't have favorite O linemen growing up.
Would you say Joe Thomas is the best offensive lineman of all time?
I think TJ's favorite player growing up was LaShawn McCoy.
I liked LaShawn McCoy and Scott McKill. I liked the
Aaron
old
Donald was his favorite player.
Oh yeah, I liked Aaron Donald. Sure,
And Larry Fitzgerald.
Larry Fitzgerald. Yeah, they're all fantastic guys. Fantastic.
I think you probably liked Aaron Donald the most, though.
X, who are my three favorite players?
Phil
Lawrence
Sims,
Taylor, Phil Sims,
Fred
and-
Biletnikoff, and Brady.
Mark Bavaro, Tom Brady, Phil Sims.
Was I right?
And LT.
Three favorite quarterbacks. X.
Fred
Phil
Biletnikoff.
Sims, Tom Brady,
Fred
and John
Bilet-
Lewis.
Fred Biletnikoff was not a quarterback.
Oh, hold on.
Kicker.
Who
Or
was it? It
receiver,
was
I'm sorry.
not Biletnikoff. It's the other dude, the Mad Bomber. What the hell is his name? God.
Penny Stabler. Are you really
No,
like
Darryl
it's not
Penny
Stabler.
Daryl.
Daryl
Aaron
Henderson.
Monica.
Daryl Monica, that's it.
Are you
Darryl
not going
Monica.
to have Kenny Stabler in your list, Grumpy? You used to love Kenny Stabler. He's not.
I
your
love
top-
Penny Stabler, but Daryl Monica was my first favorite player ever. Him and Joe Namath, but Daryl Monica, I just love the uniforms. Daryl
Yeah,
Monica.
you're gonna limit to three. You like Joe Namath, Tom Brady, Phil
My three
Sims.
favorite quarterbacks.
I said my top three quarterbacks.
You're gonna do your top three favorite quarterbacks: Phil Sims, Joe Namath, and Tom Brady.
TJ, who are your top three
Daryl
favorite
Monica,
quarterbacks?
Phil Sims, and Tom Brady.
Was that X?
TJ, who are your top three favorite quarterbacks? Kenny Pickett for all three?
Kenny Pickett, and Kenny Pickett. No.
Nathan Peterman. He played for Pitt.
Tom Savage, Nathan Peterman, and Kenny Pickett. Tino Sunseri as well as an honorable mention. I don't care. Tom Brady is up there as one of the best quarterbacks. Nice to be able to watch him. I like Peyton Manning. Being able to watch them compete year in, year out was nice to watch. I don't think I have a third just quite yet. I will, maybe one
I'll
day.
say my three favorite quarterbacks got to be Tom Brady, Baker Mayfield, and I want to say I don't know if I really have a third.
All righty. Drew L says here, by the way, just wanted to let you know, yes, the Knicks won in that furry contest. The furry activities was in Barclays where the Nets play. God. Glad I dropped the Nets a few years ago. TJ also sent you something from Phil. Oh, God. Frank, grumpy old man.
Yep, I liked Engvall since his first game was the mine and my daughter's first game at UBS. He was good for those first 2 weeks, but grumpy old man, you're right. He sucks. Play Wally now. He blows.
Hold on. What did you send from Phil? Phil. Oh, shit. Oh, shit. Oh, man. Uh-oh.
Let's get the rest of the comments. There's three more comments.
Oh, fuck.
Alex says American Airlines flight headed to Austin from Phoenix had to turn around and head back due to passenger excessively farting. Dude deserves an award. Why is this freaking comment been starred, X?
Is that true or is that bullshit? I don't know. Hit the thumbs up, says Frank. Absolutely. Sun X, we need a room tour. Remember that. Brucey Grump.
Big A-Rod fan here as well, but you cheat the game, you don't get in. We'll never know how big of a difference the needles make. Everyone was doing it. Everyone was doing it.
Like saying Lance Armstrong doesn't deserve any sort of plaudits because he was blood doping, but everybody else is blood doping at the same time. Sorry.
A-Rod, just like Barry Bonds, were the best players in the game before any of that stuff. Look at how skinny A-Rod was until what? His last year in Texas. He was a rail in Seattle when he was the best player in the league. Just no. Great is great. I don't care about steroids. Everyone was doing it. And here's the thing. Everybody today is doing something. If it's human growth hormone or steroids, they're still using steroids. The Dominicans and the Latin American players, they get popped because they don't have the newest stuff. That's why they still get popped for steroids, because they don't have the most up-to-date stuff. As soon as they find something, they use something else. The players are too big. They're on the juice, all of them, still to this day.
Sorry, TJ. The Saudis offered Messi $1.5 billion instead of $1.2 billion, according to Yahoo Sports. They offered him $400 million a year. If you're just talking about the longevity of the contract, he's going to get paid that much. Sure, perhaps. I don't know. I think they're going to invest in infrastructure as well. Grumpy, which come from behind Super Bowl win is your favorite?
Has to be all time. Remember, Super Bowls used to always be blowouts. It was just till recent times. I think an underappreciated Super Bowl game, honestly, was the Panthers and the Patriots. I thought that was a really, really good game. The 28-3 game against Atlanta was incredible. And the Seattle game was phenomenal. That was two great teams going at it. I mean, those were the three best Super Bowls I ever saw. So
holy shit. Really quickly. Look at this. Phil
and
tweeted.
I'm sorry, one of the Bills, the Bills Giants game was phenomenal too.
He says bench Engvall, no question about it. Hard to believe. Lou handed 7 years and $21 million $20 million boy, and Phil's Fax boyfriend, Pierre Engvall, single-handedly blew the game for the Islanders tonight. He's on pace for 25 points on the year with 2 to 3 offensive zone turnovers per game.
He won't go into the corners. Him and Holmstrom, they're like 10 feet from the boards. They just won't go in the corners.
Incoming quote treat plus a chart from Natural Statric describing how Engvall's shots in the top left corner per 60 at 5-on-5 are better than somebody on the Rangers. That is exactly what Phil fucking does. This guy has him fucking nailed down.
That's a Phil special right there.
Oh, damn. He fucking roasted Phil.
We're going to talk to Phil after this show.
Oh, fuck Phil. He got fucking roasted. Boom, roasted. There was one thing let me see if there's anything I want to show you. We're about at time. I did want to show you, I thought, a pretty accurate take on the Super Bowl. We'll just listen to it here. It is Richard Sherman commenting. And actually, Grumpy, I think you'll like this. Let's listen in really quickly with Richard Grump.
I'm betting against Lamar because I've only seen Patrick Mahomes lose in the playoffs to Burrow and Brady. I've only seen him lose one Super Bowl. He's been to 3. I've seen him lose an AFC championship game to Burrow. I've seen him lose to Brady in the AFC championship. I've not seen anybody else send him home with a loss. And so it's not about Lamar. It's about Patrick Mahomes has found a way to win these games regardless of situation, regardless of what's going on, except for those people. And so it's going to take Lamar to send him home. It's going to take a Herculean effort to send him home, which it usually takes Brady. You remember when Brady sent him home? It took 3 3rd and 10s, as you always so eloquently put it.
I know.
To Rob Gronkowski.
I've never seen anything like it before.
Never seen anything like it. Usually to send him home, it takes something that you've never seen anything like. When Burrow sent him home, it was a dogfight. He sent him home. When Brady beat him in the Super Bowl, he was missing his 2 tackles, and Shaq Barrett, JPP, and those boys got after him all game. But outside of those games, he rarely gets sent home with the loss. We intercepted him twice in a game. We had him against the ropes, down 10 points with 7 minutes to go. they run off 21 straight. So again, this last year, he has a 96.6 QBR, your favorite stat, in the Super Bowl. Skip, 3 touchdowns. Again, he finds a way to get it done in these playoffs. He and Andy Reid draws it up. They make big plays on defense. So
You think if y'all had a better quarterback throwing the ball, y'all would have won that Super Bowl against Patrick Mahomes?
Holy shit. What a loaded question, Sean.
That's savage.
Stops would have won the Super Bowl.
If y'all had a better quarterback throwing the football, y'all probably could have won that game.
It's the truth.
Damn,
It's the
Keyshawn.
truth. Now, here's the thing. Lamar is a better thrower of the ball this year than he's ever been, without a doubt. That's still not his forte. He's gonna beat you because he can run. I like I said, I'm Baltimore all the way. I've been Baltimore since week 5, on the record since week 5 on this show. Baltimore, best team.
Well, let's go ahead and wrap things up here today. Thank you, number one, so much, everybody, for commenting and tuning in. Thank you, Grumpy. Thank you, Sunnex. What do you guys want to say before we wrap things up here today?
I want to say love and laughter to everyone who listens and even those who don't. From TJ, Sunnex, and the Grumpy Old Man.
Next, what do you want to say before we wrap things up here today?
I want to thank everybody for coming out and listening, getting involved in the comment section, and we'll see you guys next time.
We'll see you guys Sunday evening, 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Thanks so much, everybody, for tuning in. Thank you, Grumpy. Thanks so much, Sunnex. Thank you, everybody, for tuning in. Thank you, guys. We'll see you Sunday, 8 p.m.
Good night.